Hey, Agent. Take a look at this.
Where is she?
I don't know. How would I know?
Khalia Janice and her Twi'lek associate was seen attacking exchange resources on Nar Shaddaa. Should I believe you wouldn't seek revenge? I want her last known location, and I want it now!
I love it. Listen to that little tremor in his voice. He's adorable.
He does say your name with fondness.
Ijel and I go way back. Soon as I show my face, he starts torturing people to track me down. He's been obsessed ever since we split up on Farstein. For an arms dealer, he's kind of sweet. Makes me feel wanted.
Where did that holovid even come from?
Hey, you've got plenty of sources. I've got a few too. And one's close to Ijel. Of course, if he ever found me, I'd have to choose. Do I go back with a bad, nasty man? Or beat him down with someone new?
You're perfectly capable of protecting yourself.
No kidding. I'll keep you in the loop. Next recording gets out, we can watch it together. If you can guess who's been talking to Nemro the Hutt, you owe me a drink.
From your tone, I'd say I'm looking at her.
Bingo. If you don't have a bottle on you, I'll take my prize in cash. Me and the Crime King were wrapping up some old business, long story. But he let slip something interesting. Remember Ujal, my arms dealer cum stalker? He's been touching base with a lot of guys I used to work with, Nemro included.
Why were you talking to the Hutt exactly?
Don't get all possessive. Here's the point. Now that Ujal's tipped his hand, some of my other ex-partners, the ones with grudges, they figure they need to hit me before Ujal does. We're talking people who should have moved on years ago. Guess I left a mark.
You have an awful lot of enemies. What exactly did you do?
I'm not gonna make a list, but first example who comes to mind, card shark named Todd Teagle. Not a lot of guts, but he was rich and cute. We lived the high life until I broke his heart. Bet he'll hire some sleazebag to find me.
Todd Teagle, Card Shark, any other names?
Told you about your Jal, Roll. Nemro and I are good. I'll let you know if anything else turns up. We might actually have to do something about this.
We?
Stand by. I'm routing comm traffic through our mid-rim outposts. You're on a 6-second delay until I resynchronize the data stream. 3, 2, 1. Synced and secured. Tracking systems show you're in the castle lands of Alderaan. Enjoy the view, Cypher. I hear the mountains are lovely.
After the last few worlds, I'll be sure to appreciate it.
It'll keep you sane. Alderaan is governed by the wealthiest noble families in the galaxy. They've feuded for centuries, and are presently engaged in a full-scale war. You're here because Imperial intelligence believes that one of the noble houses, or a noble within one of the houses, is financing the Eagle's terror network.
I thought the terrorists operated on the cheap.
They do, in relative terms. But for cells that aren't self-supporting, costs add up quickly. Weapons, transportation, bribes, everything. The Empire's resources are tied up supporting House Thul's efforts to claim the throne. But intelligence does have one asset, Vector Hillis. Vector was an Imperial ambassador to the nobles, but he was later repurposed. Now he's with the Killiks, Alderaan's native alien species.
Why are you being cagey, Watcher 2?
Apologies. Vector's is an unusual case, and I should explain. When Vector approached the Killiks on a mission of diplomacy, they absorbed him into their collective intelligence. He's part of their hive mind. However, he continues to file activity reports, and we believe he's still loyal to the Empire, even if he's barely human anymore.
A lack of humanity shouldn't compromise anyone.
There are always exceptions, but we mustn't forget that they're rare. We've requisitioned Vector from the diplomatic service and given him a need-to-know overview. You'll rendezvous at these coordinates. Use him to eliminate any noble or house funding the terrorists. Watcher 2 out.
Yay. Vector. And yes, you did. Thank you, Tyron. I think I'm going to go to McKeb and stop there for the sake of practicality. The usual MMO limitation, right? Available, feasible, reasonable. Good morning, Blade Taval. Good morning, Ect. Good morning, J. Palmer. Good morning, MPPY. Good morning, Gigapudding. Good morning, Zedslayer. Good morning, Hazardous. Good morning, Damashi. And no more good mornings ever again.
Rise and shine.
So, back to Alderaan. You know what's funny? I only kind of hated the Killix until I did the agent storyline. And then I just absolutely hated the Killix, and have never stopped hating the Killix. Hi, Cord. I actually literally just answered that, but yes, thank you. Hello, Orcano. Hello, Walker. Oh, cool. Sorry for bugging you about stuff like that, Tyron. Yeah, the Killix... So we've talked before, because we've actually already seen a quest with the daughter of the local general or whatever, about how they recruit people. I'm going to say that. But, we're about to see another even more in-depth insight into the recruitment policies of the Killix. And whatever you see in the VOD, Giga, don't worry. I definitely don't hate Vector and definitely won't kill his stupid, ugly, terrible face. Thank you, creator. Much appreciate that sub. If you want to put that towards something, do please let me know. Thank you. Actually, I was thinking about that. I would legitimately call the Killix worse than the Borg. And that's saying something. Just, yeah.
All right, make me look good.
Planet Conquer 3, you got it. Start this cutscene. Yeah, what he said.
Yes, this is the one as the song schedule determined.
I can't wait to see how this goes.
We are Vector Hillis, Dawn Herald of the Ouroboros Nest. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Agent.
I like how they ensure that one of the first things you see for Vector is his eyes. Just right off the bat.
You must be the man with a bug for a brain.
We must be. We're glad you were briefed. We trust our appearance doesn't disturb you. Our superiors in the diplomatic service find our joining disconcerting, but it was necessary. The joining allowed us to share thoughts and senses with the Nest, forge a bond between Empire and Killix. The change is a small price.
I love how we can immediately flirt with him.
I just came for information. Your personal
We're going to be really
life is
rude to
my
Vector,
business.
by the way.
I understand. The Killix will help. Together we have millennia of experience. Yes, as to your target, Imperial Intelligence provided us with a list of names, dates, and locations connected to your terrorist financier.
Okay. I think Giga's gone. Perfect. Now we can romance him. Whew. I've never actually seen the Vector romance. It'll be good to finally romance him. But I couldn't do that if Giga was here. She'd be insufferable the whole time.
Do you have an ID on the target?
We can't identify the financier himself, but your information shows he's visited House Organa, House Ceres, House Pantier, and House Cortez. Cortez is a vassal of the Empire's proxy, House Thul. If you show the Cortez Baron a copy of our findings, he might close in on your foe.
If I can manipulate a hut, I can handle a Baron.
A hut? Indeed. We must proceed to the Dance of Unlighting, but we'll remain here for the duration of your mission. We suggest you present yourself to Cortez as an ally of the Empire, show strength, And don't mention your intelligence connections.
I like that idea, Console Hot. Add just a little bit of an echo. Maybe like a Protoss kind of a vibe, something like that. Sorry, Giga. As long as you're here, he will be hated and reviled forever! Oh, yeah, I mean, Okay, obviously I like to joke around and kid, so let me be very, very clear. I do legitimately think the Killiks are worse than the Borg. Now, that's obviously down to a matter of opinion, yada yada yada. But the fact of the matter is that the Borg, while certainly more dangerous and large-scale, are substantially less horrifying and less evil. The Borg, in fact, are the very opposite of evil. Sorry. No, yeah, the opposite... No, that's wrong. Hang on. Yeah, no, I'm still right. The opposite of evil. They're irrelevant. They just do. They're a big hurricane that goes and consumes and moves on. The Killiks are the many. Now, I suppose you could argue that the Killiks and the many both aren't evil. And there's certainly an argument that can be leveled there. I'm not actually going to argue that. But what the Killiks and the many both do is they try to turn you into them. They corrupt and twist and warp you and refuse you even the right to be upset or injured about what they're doing to you. Say what you will about Borg assimilation, but you, the original you, are still there inside of that Borg drone. It is, in fact, it's a major plot point for several characters that you can be recovered. You're going to have horrific PTSD for the rest of your life, but you are still an individual that can retain your own thoughts and sense of self. The Killiks and the many do not afford you that luxury. They force you, they change you.
In the name of Baron Payar Cortez and the Cortez barony,
To me,
I
that's
demand
worse.
you state your business or face expulsion.
I am one of the free soldiers of the Polemian trade route, come to offer my company's services.
Another mercenary thug, then. Come to Alderaan for a few credits.
Best mercenary thug this side of the rim.
Captain Perovius, there's no need to react this way.
Forgive me, my lady.
I am Baroness Che Cortez. Forgive our lack of hospitality, but these are inhospitable times. And quite frankly, Cortez has no need of mercenaries. Friends, yes, but not armies for hire.
Yeah, ignore the uniform. We're cool.
Allow me to prove that I can be a friend.
Perhaps. Some days ago, we lost a squad of battle droids patrolling the borders of Cortez lands. That squad was our first line of defense. We believe the squad's disappearance may presage an attack, yet not one of our allies has come to our aid.
What happened to the squad exactly?
We don't know what destroyed our droids. They went silent. Until we find out, we must prepare for the worst. If you want our favor, send your troops to determine the fate of our patrol. Perhaps then my Baron may host guests.
We'll do everything possible to make this right.
I'll leave you to Captain Perovius. I hope to see you under better circumstances.
If your troops find the droids, tell them to activate the squad's homing beacon. Perhaps the data logs will help us.
Why do we... Okay, whatever. Now, that does bring up an interesting quandary. If someone willingly chooses to be rewritten and brainwashed, where's the morality on that? Let's assume that they actually choose and aren't manipulated into it, which would invalidate the morality thereof. Anyways, I know I have an outstanding question about Wonder Woman. I'm still debating it. How bad is the Radiance compared to the Borg or the Killiks? The Radiance is more like a hate plague. It's... Imagine a song you can't get out of your head. Ever. And it just kind of gets worse the longer it's there. Until it's all you can fixate on and all you can focus on. Until you get to the point of actually being incapable of even maintaining coherent thought. And you effectively just turn into this raving, gibbering mess. And that's kind of the Radiance in a nutshell. Ironically, Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, actually does a really good job of showcasing this concept with Troy during the episode Survivors. No, Giga, and I'm not gonna romance Vector. You do not have enough money to bribe me for that. That's not happening. I would rather eat my own tongue.
You and me? We're getting good.
This is Captain Perovius. It's good to see you again. I'm impressed that you conducted the search personally. We're receiving the droid's logs now. You have my thanks.
I don't send others to do my dirty work, and I get the job done.
Maybe I underestimated you. I apologize. At any rate, these logs are discouraging. The droid skirmish with the Killiks. Blasted bugs are on Cortez lands again.
Ugh, I hate Killiks.
Don't you get along with the Killiks?
I hope you're joking. Those creatures, I hear they take captives, transform them into slaves. I can't imagine a worse fate. I'll make sure the Baron knows. Those things won't build a new hive in Cortez territory. I'll tell you that.
I'm sure the Killiks will get your message.
Indeed. In the meantime, I have a message for you. The Baroness is offering you an invitation to the estate. You may return at your leisure.
So if we're to presume that the Death Star totally vaporizes the planet and doesn't leave any debris, I would say it would reduce the amount of dark side in the galaxy. That's important, because you have a bunch of chunks floating through space just emanating dark side. Well, then you have Malachor 5, don't you? Anyways. Scroll up here. So I'll ask this question to the crowd, because I'm still torn on this. So I've already mentioned several times I would depower Supes, that is to say Superman, in a hypothetical DC rewrite. So the question then becomes, how much do we scale the power of Wonder Woman? So Diana has always been someone who has been very strong, one of the top tiers, easily and clearly. But she's never been at Supes' level of power, mostly because she has other things going for her. So if we were to put Superman, and the direct number given was 1,000 power rating, insert DBZ joke here, where would we put Wonder Woman on that scale? Hi, Magister. And this is just raw strength, by the way, not the rest
The
of it.
Baron is expecting you. This way, please.
Our guest has arrived, my lord.
Baron Payar Cortez, Sword of the Castle Lands. I hereby present to you an honorable friend and a soldier of fortune. This woman risked herself in the service of House Cortez, valiantly recovering our lost patrol and identifying the Killik threat. In appreciation of her noble deeds, and out of respect for her accomplishments, I ask that you grant her recognition.
I so grant her recognition. I am Baron Payar Cortez, my lady. Welcome to my home.
Allow me to present Khalia Janus, my loyal and trusted associate.
Such an exotic young woman. How is it you come to be here?
I slid out of Mama's womb and picked up a blaster. Now I'm your new friend's bodyguard. Of course, you and me could be friends too. You got a nice place here. I could stick around a while.
Baron?
You are an intriguing creature, I admit.
Hear what he said? That was sweet.
With those manners, you could be royalty.
I could welcome people just like the Baroness.
I hope I didn't give the wrong impression at the gates. I just take the security of my house very seriously.
One of few things she does, along with her gardens and her ack dogs.
You'll make me blush, my lord.
Tell me now, why do you seek my house? Is there a favor you would ask? An alliance you'd propose?
I'm trying to identify a visitor to House Cortez. I know when he was here, but not his name or face.
I'll gladly help. Show me what you have. The date's in your files. Yes, we've had visitors at these times, but that's no surprise. I believe the guest you're looking for is Master Denry Ale. We've hosted him and his summits on a number of occasions.
Let's hear some more.
Denry Ale was once Lord Denry Ale, a powerful and respected man among the vassal houses. But some years ago, he abdicated his position.
He became a mediator dedicated to forging peace.
Strange you should ask about him now. For several weeks, Denry Ale has been missing. Whether off on some secret negotiation or something more regrettable, no one knows.
We can't let him disappear. It would be unfortunate.
I'll begin looking into Ale's whereabouts through formal and informal diplomatic channels. If I can find him for you, I will. You may also wish to investigate the matter yourself. I'm sure a mercenary of your caliber has sources.
I appreciate your efforts, Baron.
In the meantime, you're welcome to stay as a guest. House Cortez prides itself on its hospitality.
We'll have to dine together. You can meet the Ack dogs.
The Baron has spoken. This audience is at an end.
You and me, we're getting good.
Getting a bit of a range amongst chat, but the more I think about it, the more I feel like somewhere between 600 and 700 is probably where I'd put her. Which would, of course, still put her as the second strongest thing walking around in the setting. I think this is faster.
Rise and shine.
As I've said before, even with a depowered Soups, I think he should be way top tier in terms of raw strength. I've said that many times. It's pretty much his main shtick, for God's sakes. Dark side? Yeah, maybe a 3. Alright, so, how does your mind come up with and refine... That's actually a Baron question. I'll save that for when Baron's here. That's an Evo question. I passed the quest. No, it's spelled Dark Side. I just say it Dark Seed because screw 'em. Ugh. Anyways, J. Palmer asked a weird question. What game do you consider have the most realistic graphics? I mean, of the games I've played, probably Red Dead Redemption 2. We're evil!
Is it me, or are there more bugs than last time?
Welcome back. Your aura reflects your attunement to the great song.
Vector, good to see you again too.
Our observers saw you enter the Cortez estate. The fingerlings were listening and heard mention of Denry Ale. We met Ale during our time as ambassador. With his wealth and talent, he could be your target.
You know what, hang on. I need, like, to skip the mountain playlist this time around. We need to go with, like, a gross Gluck playlist, because we're doing with the Killix. Oh, you know what? Zerg music. That's a good idea. Hang on. Hang on. I gotta... Just give me a second. Well, you see, Immunite, it's because they're evil. And that probably sounds like a joke. And it very much isn't. Hang on. Where's my... Ah, it's okay. I just hope it wasn't me, Zach Taft, because that's gonna suck. Sorry about the volume. There we go. That's our Killick music right there.
The Baron claims not to know his whereabouts.
We might be able to help. Our nest has had many joiners over the years. Soldiers, children, nobles. We can search their memories and see what they know of Denry Ale.
You just go through people's brains?
The joiners are already part of the nest. They share thoughts willingly. Don't be concerned.
Uh-huh.
We remember Pabal Alder. When her speeder crashed, our foragers brought her to the hive. Our healers tended her. We became one. Her house, House Older, an old house of scholars and antiquarians, granted Ale residence in honor of his work as a mediator. Ale kept records of his work in the Older estate. If you can penetrate the estate's defenses, those records are yours.
I've never seen anything quite like that.
We live to serve. House Older opposes the Empire, and the estate is always prepared for an Imperial attack, even a stealthy one. Be careful.
Okay, leaving forever. Probably not, Blade Taval. Actually, I like that idea, Solar Galaxy. Although that wasn't quite the question I was asked, but it's still a cool thought.
All right, make me look good.
Ugh. So, Lothario asks to clarify, would the gap between Soups and Diana be enough for him to one-shot her? No. We're not talking One Punch Man levels. Whoops, wrong direction. We're totally romancing Vector. If by romance you mean I'm going to shove a blaster in his face and pull the trigger until the blaster runs dry. No, Eleazar. This is, in your own thoughts. See, the Zerg have actually infested you. Sorry. Oh, speaking of which, someone earlier asked about the comparison between Zerg infestation and what the Killiks do. Now, this is going to sound horrible, but I still think Zerg infestation is less horrible. You're probably thinking, but lore! No, it's horrific, because what they do is almost identical to what the Borg do. They take control of you remotely when you're infested, so you don't really have control over your own body in any real sense of the word. What you do still have is your mind. People who are infested are aware of being infested and are aware of what's been done to them. So that's nice. That's cool. Does leave the possibility of curing, although it's much rarer in StarCraft than it is over in Star Trek. I'm afraid not, Zach Taft. You're gonna have to kill them all without me. Still, I'd take being mutated into a walking bomb over being rewritten. Actually, it's funny you say that, Lothario. I was actually thinking defenses specifically. I don't think she would have the same... So a lot of people don't really talk about that. They talk about speed and reaction, strength, and magic. Nobody talks about defenses, but it's actually a really important stat when it comes to superheroes. Personally, I think someone with a really high defense could by itself be a superpower. I should know, I wrote that in the Prime storyline, but I'm getting off topic. The point is that, in my mind, Wonder Woman still wouldn't actually have the level of defense that Soups did, but she would have really, really high defenses. So she could take a hit really well, probably better than most people could. That's ignoring the fact that she's got the bracelets, and she's got the speed, and she's got the shield, and blah, 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 blah. You cannot cure infestation in the strictest sense of the word, no, Eleazar. What you can do is remove the control of the hive over the infested person. I mean, that's true, Giga? I don't know, this boils down to one of those things, right? Because everyone has certain things that for them are worse than other things. I've noticed this over the years when discussing, what's more evil or what's more horrible. It's a weirdly common discussion, actually. But anyways, the relevance here is, to me, the idea of being so brainwashed to the point where I don't have any problem with being brainwashed bothers me more than most things. I would quite literally rather be in constant horrific pain and nightmarish death than to not even mind the fact that I have become one with the many. No, endurance is just the ability to, have stamina. I mean straight up defense. I mean, if you punch me, how much can my hand withstand that punch? It's defenses, man. Defenses. Meanwhile, Giga's like, I love being rewritten! And that's why I rewrote her yesterday. And now she doesn't like Vector anymore. Now it's okay, because Giga's now dead. But the new Giga, she hates Vector. Blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm going to need you. Would you kindly snap Vector's neck for me, Giga? I mean, let's be clear. Being infested is really horrible.
Getting good.
Like, this is what I like to call inches amongst miles, because what we're referring to at this point is gradients of absolutely horrific. Which, again, is a weirdly common topic. I don't know why. So, Zach Taft? I'm just gonna... I know it's not a big deal, but I'm gonna remind you that there is this thing called spoilers, which we are trying to avoid for content we haven't reached yet. So try to be a little bit more mindful of that, okay? Like, that has nothing to do with anything. There's no reason to bring that up now. You're literally just running by the theater with the sign saying, spoiler! And that's a dick move. Don't do that.
Agent, it's good to see you. Yes, we apologize. The nest has been invigorated by star dancing.
What
If you could smell the pheromones, you'd understand our restlessness.
If I start understanding, I'll know it's time to leave.
No kidding.
There's nothing to be concerned about. The hive is growing, and we all benefit. We even have a gift for you. These orbs contain white membrosia, rare nectar produced by our givers. Pull back the wax and sip. You'll find it gives strength and healing.
Thank you.
Practical, but exotic. I like it.
We hoped you might. In any case, how's the search for Denry Ale?
I found records in the older estate, but I am not sure what to make of them.
This is perplexing. It looks like Ale funded the destruction of the Dominator and the assassination of Darth Jadus. But the rest is very odd. Have you shown this to Baron Pear?
Oh, also, this is for you, Giga. Vector just gave us his white milk.
I was hoping I wouldn't need to.
Baron Pear may see nuances we don't. We've mentioned our difficulty with human personalities. We'll be on alert should you need anything else. The nest embraces our unity.
All right.
Oh, come on. You gotta give me some reaction, Giga. So can you even have a free will hive mind? Actually, yes. There's actually several different types of hive minds in fiction. So, obviously, there's the type where there's no such thing as an individual, but then there's a type where everyone's just connected to each other. And I was actually about to bring up the Protoss. Thank you, Zetslayer. She has a good example of that. Because the Protoss all have individual wills and thoughts and concepts. They just happen to have that emotional link to each other. Yeah, done, Zach Taft. Burn that sucker. My god. Nirazaz asks, can I think of one insect race that's not disgusting? Nerubians. Also Klaxi. Where am I? I'm in the wrong spot. Gosh darn it. No, I didn't expect that, Lothario. You know what? Just, you can't have too many flame troopers. Ah, the cooperative. I'm not going to say too much about the cooperative because I have big plans for them in the rewrite. All I'm going to say is the cooperative is actually fascinating. Because the cooperative are opt-in and free-willed connected hive mind. Again, similar to the Protoss. They're still individuals, they still know and interact and have their own thoughts and personalities and all that. They just happen to have you know, the internet of everyone else's minds in their brain. The Overmind, what he did, well, okay. The Overmind's been retconned a couple of times, but the original idea was the Overmind was a representation of the hive mind. In other words, the Overmind was the intellect of the Zerg. But, I mean, okay, look, Gigapudding. It's not our fault that all the romance options for females suck. But Vector's a bug. Alright, so, now that we got that out of the way. Yeah, I mean, they do, though. They do suck. There's so many bad romance options. It's like, God, really?
Welcome back. I'll let the Baron know you're here.
My dear, you shouldn't concern yourself with trifling details.
I am concerned. This house needs all I can give, not just my gardening skills.
Enough, we'll speak later. Ah, the mercenary captain. I hope you're enjoying your visit to Alderaan. But if you're here about Denry Ale, I must disappoint. I've been gathering information, yet I cannot locate him with any certainty.
An exchange, Baron. I'll share my information if you'll share yours.
I'm more than willing. May I? These records. They are the pieces of a puzzle my own sources left incomplete. It appears that some weeks ago, Master Ale arranged a secret meeting with House Rist. That meeting is doubtless occurring as we speak.
I'm not familiar with that house.
House Rist is a stain upon the nobility. A house of slayers and poisoners. I suggest you wait for Denry Ale's return. A month, perhaps 2. Don't earn the Rist assassins' ire by interfering in their affairs.
I'll have to think about it.
Good. I appreciate an ally who knows caution. Confronting Rist will do no good. Now, I must cut this discussion short. I have other matters to attend to. See to our guest, my lady. Make certain Cortez hospitality remains second to none.
I'm sorry about my husband. He's a busy man, and a brave one. Just not brave enough to confront the House Rist.
You're confusing bravery with stupidity.
Then you plan to wait Ale out? You don't seem like someone content to sit around in hopes of an easy solution. Everything the Baron said about Rist is true. They are a stain on society, and a foe of Cortez. When I was a child, Rist assassins poisoned my father and slit my brother's throat. Justice was never done.
Why are you telling me this?
The Baron won't listen to my ideas. But you could show him the meaning of bravery. You could show all the houses that defying Rist isn't hopeless. Find Denry Ale, fight the assassins, and go with all our hopes.
I can't promise anything.
If that's how you feel, then I won't take any more of your time. Farewell. I'll make sure the Baron hears of your eloquence.
All right, make me look good.
I think it is him. It's William Bassett if it's him. He's listed as additional voices. You may also remember him as Ormus in Diablo 2. So, we're obviously talking about different characters, Lothario. So, I'm just gonna say that I don't know who you're mentioning at this point. Okay, so now we're hitting... here. I will also admit I never saw Red Dead Redemption 2 trailers, so I can't even speak to who's in those. Ever since I stopped doing trailer analyses for the show, I've kind of stopped watching trailers in general. Because I hate them.
Enjoy your stay.
They're terrible. Questions. What's the ratio of main quests to side quests in a typical Tor Act? Actually, there's not really that many side quests. The planetary primaries are certainly a decent chunk of the content, and if you count the class stuff with that, I'd say it's about 1-to-1. Yeah, there's about as many... I'm saying that wrong. 2-to-1. Sorry, 2-to-1. There's two main story quests and primary quests for every one secondary quest. Am I annoyed about how the Allies still end up developing the chronosphere despite Einstein being out of the picture? Yes. I mean, okay. If you're looking for lore consistency in something as complex as time travel in the Red Alert series, I really have a feeling you're looking in the wrong direction. You keep typing it wrong, by the way, Elizar. No offense intended, just pointing it out, because the bot isn't catching any of those. Also, you probably don't remember this, Elizar, but a Zelnaga artifact, specially primed by a Zelnaga, in order to specifically target her, which took a large amount of time to charge up, and was specifically designed for taking out that exact formula and matrix of entity, was necessary in order to cure Kerrigan of the Queen of Blades. That's a fairly substantial and involved process. I'm doing well. Ping to you, Flygand. So, I'm sorry, you asked that earlier about Malgus. I'm actually falling behind a little bit. There aren't many Force users with a brain. No, there are not. Would I consider Malgus one of them? More than most. But there's still some things Malgus did that I consider to be particularly stupid. Thing number one, what he did with his wife, and thing number two, what he does when we have to go fight him later in this very game. Both of those were pretty stupid. But anyways. Okay, so yeah, no. I caught that, like, immediately, Lothario. He didn't necessarily have to die, because there's plenty of ways for that to work out, regardless of death. But the moment that our eye had an issue was the moment I knew we were screwed. Good boss fight, yeah, I agree. So, let's see. Mar has a brain. Valron has a brain. There is no right-click follow. Interesting. Maybe we can just type it. Barris did have a brain. I'll actually give Barris a brain. He was a paranoid, you know, freak who lost all semblance of sanity in his paranoia, but he did have a brain. Let's see here. Jadis had a brain. Then it was smattered across the starways. Let's see. Those graphics. What do you think happened to the original Source Hunters in DOS 1? I don't think they're considered as canon, because they aren't. However, if I had to pick a fate for them... Whee! I'm not sure. I've never actually thought about it, to be completely honest with you. I should probably mention I've never beaten DOS 1. I know what the last boss is, but I've never actually gotten there myself. That's a good question, Blade Chaval. To double check, I have no dropped frames with Twitch. DOS 1 refers to a video game known as Divinity Original Sin 1, made by Larian. Oh, that's because I'm faster than Giga. I'm moving in spurts. Here, let me demonstrate. Now, it's minor, but you notice how I'm starting to catch her? It's because I am slightly faster than her, so the follow command is accommodating that. Which now I'm not actually catching her. That's really strange. It's also possible the follow command is just junk. It would not surprise me in a game like this. Giga says I'm not faster. Well, in that case, the follow command is just junk. I know. Shocking. It's the other one. God damn it. Anyways. Radiance question. Oh, there's an Evo question. Can't answer that one. I know, right, Zitzler? So, are you familiar with Larian's approach to continuity? Lotario? Oh, I know, Professor Iago. Thankfully, I'm definitely not a Time Lord. Wink. Ironically, I agree with that, Zucktaft. Although you didn't phrase that as a question, you phrased that as a statement, but I still agree with you. If I was a Time Lord, I definitely wouldn't tell you about it. Yeah, trust me, the past couple of timelines, much worse. Sure, Lothario. Whatever you say. Let's see here. God, I am so glad. Like, I hate this stealth spec. Like, I absolutely despise playing this class. I really do. But at least I have a freaking stealth, and I can just dodge all this track. Yeah, I actually managed to get a timeline where Anthem was really, really good. You don't want to know what the cost of that was. I don't think it was worth it, personally. And, of course, it's going down. I mean, that's true, Blade Travell, you're right. I'm not really playing this class. I'm just avoiding combat. It works out. Keeper would probably be smart enough to do exactly that, yes, Zucktaft. And Palpatine is, in some incarnations, is smart enough to recognize... Oh my god, Giga, no! I can't break stealth to save her. This is one of those terrible dilemmas they teach you about at agent school. Do I save my one true friend, or do I leave her to die? The music tells me what to do. That's right. I have no friends. I have no people.
Ah, I was starting to wonder if we'd meet face to face. Welcome to House Wrist. My name is Denry Ale, but of course you know that, and so much more after stealing my records.
Palpatine with a brain would probably be cool with Keeper, was all I was going to say, Zucktaft.
How do you know who I am?
I'm no fool. I hear you've been looking for me for some time. Did the Empire hire you, mercenary? Or is there a bounty on my head? Not that it matters. When we heard you were on your way, I arranged for my friends at considerable expense to prepare a traditional wrist welcome.
Why don't I show you a traditional Imperial welcome instead?
And I'll show you how to die!
You will, in fact, show me how to die. That's not as good of a taunt as whatever you're thinking, buddy. I want you to be aware of that. Oh, absolutely, Blade Travell. And Keeper probably wouldn't exactly approve of Palpatine, but he would know that being disloyal is worse than, you know, the alternative. Exactly, Flaghead. So I have a simple rule. It applies to everything, Mask Man, but it applies especially hard to MMOs. We start with everything that's possible, then we filter down to everything that's feasible, then we filter down to everything that's reasonable. So, we are covering everything that is reasonable, yes. So there is some content we are deliberately skipping because I'm not insane. If we wanted to actually cover all the content, we would have to do not only all the stuff we are currently doing, but then we'd have to do every expansion 8 times.
You worthless filth! You may have killed me, but you can't take away what I've achieved. I worked for peace on Alderaan. I showed the houses how to settle their differences. What have you ever done for decent men?
Don't talk. I'll try to bind your wounds.
A little late for that.
Oh, well, he's dead. I tried. Hi, Baron.
Master Ale, I'm sorry to disturb, but this message must reach you in time. The situation's grown worse. The thorn in my side knows you're visiting House Rist, and I believe she'll soon give chase. She's dangerous, Denry. She's in league with my husband, and somehow gained access to your personal journals. You're going to need protection. I know the Rists aren't committed to working for us yet, but I hope you can convince them to help you. I'm sure you can sway them somehow. You've a way with words.
Yeah, can I get a lore shock in chat, please? So, let me answer your question briefly before I forget it, Latario. Larian, now, I don't know if this is actually true still, since they've been working on Baldur's Gate 3 for a while. But Larian had a couple of interviews a while ago that said that they don't really care about continuity in any real sense of the word when it comes to their works. I'm sure you're aware of this, but for those in chat not aware, Divinity Original Sin 1 isn't the first game in the Divinity series. In fact, I think it's the 4th? 2, 3. Yeah, I feel like that's right. And then, of course, DOS 2 is the 5th. And they tend to play extremely loosey-goosey with their continuity and effectively just kind of do, let's call it what it is, the comic book thing, where they will acknowledge broad strokes of other works that have happened in the same timeline, but otherwise they just do whatever they feel like it because they don't care that much about maintaining a cohesive timeline. Now, that's its own thing, right? There's no judgment necessarily here. If you walk into it saying, we're not going to have continuity, I'm going to respect that a lot more than something that pretends to have continuity and then doesn't. Oh, my bad. What's the one I'm missing, Damashi? Oh, Beyond Divinity. That's the one I'm missing. Yeah. And yeah, it's easy to see because DOS 2 is probably the easiest example because DOS 2 kind of references Divinity 2 and in several ways completely contradicts Divinity 2. And that's fine.
Halt! Leave Cortez lands immediately, or be forcibly expelled.
You'd speak this way to the Baron's guest.
The Baroness has revoked your access to the estate. She's ordered all defenses raised. You may as well turn around. We've got blast doors, force fields. This estate is designed to repel an army.
An army? Maybe I'll have to break a sweat.
You want to play it that way? That's how we play it.
But that's what I mean. That's why I say whether or not something's continuity is really up to whether or not they care enough with that particular point.
Fun. Don't think blasters are going to get us through here, Agent. Maybe we should talk to your bug boy.
Oh, God. Okay, so who here wants me to take the most evil thing I could possibly do here? In my opinion. It's legitimately horrifically evil. Like, one of the more messed up evil choices in the entire game, in my opinion.
Getting good.
No, Vigilant. Vigilant's like that devil just sitting on my shoulder over there. Yes, do the horrifically evil thing, Lord. It'll be funny. Wait, why would you get angry just to snarl? I should make it a poll. I'm not telling you what it is until we get there. It's not that far from now, though. It'll literally only be a few minutes, really. I think it's actually faster to fly. I have seen it happen once. A friend of mine took it literally just to see what happened. Oh, right. Sorry, the Zerg music stuff. This is a good time to start the Zerg music back up. Because, holy crap, Baron asked a question. How does your mind come up with and refine ideas for your stories? I have no idea. That's a really good question. A lot of creative types over the years have been asked. I think that was still... No, that might not have been faster. Have been asked, how do you come up with ideas? To me, what tends to happen is I think about it for, think about what I'm working on or the concept or whatever. And I'm like, well, okay, I like this idea, and this could work here, and this works with this. And it all just fits in this giant pattern in my brain. Like, I suppose, if you could put it this way, I can literally see the three-dimensional fractal that is the story and how pieces can fit together in order to try and construct the actual story. And that's about as good as I got.
Agent, come inside. The nest is prepared to defend you.
Thanks. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, that's what you need these bugs for. Defending us.
Our observers saw what happened. Why did Cortez turn on you? How can we help?
Turns out the Baroness is working with the terrorists.
The Baroness? This is unexpected.
Not
The
really.
Nest has studied the Cortez estate's defenses and deemed them formidable. The interior shields are designed for squads of human attackers. The perimeter security systems are meant to combat armies and Killik swarms.
Why does the Nest know so much about Cortez defenses?
We've been studying Cortez for some time. We've been thorough. The power generators are behind the main estate. They're well guarded, but they might be sabotaged from the inside. If I could reach the generators, I could release a swarm of fingerling Killiks. Our smallest brethren can easily slip through the cracks and damage the machinery.
That's disgusting.
Be that as it may, we believe that it's our best chance.
If you two are taking out the shield generators, I'll keep the Cortez patrols busy. Maybe poach something nice.
You planning to steal the Baron's prize, Thrantis?
What? We've got room on the ship.
No.
Each of us can carry a handful of fingerling eggs. Once our young destroy the shield generator, we can proceed inside.
Yeah, I'm trying to be mostly polite to him, but I just couldn't resist that ick there, because holy crap. Oh, and now he's joined the party. Hi, Vector. Welcome to the party. Oh no, that's just how it is. In fact, it's much worse if you turn the graphic settings down from this, Tamashi. Anyways, do I have any published works that you can look up? No, I've never actually published anything. I've got quite a few works that I've put out, some completed, some not. But that's a good idea, Jay Palmer. But I've never actually gone to Amazon, for example. Is the evil thing I do a light side option? No, I think it's definitively dark. Do I think the Keeper would view Ghost Crew as a credible threat after the Tarkin's ISD is destroyed? First of all, yes. Second of all, that's such a dumb scene, but third of all, yes. What do I think of Abdul Adrian? Abdul Adrian. Hang on, let me hit Google here really quick. Oh. He's a badly written prick. I think that's a good summary. He's so aggravating to me on every level that I actually never finished those books. Because it actively pissed me off how much of an asshole he was. Not even just evil, just a colossal, manipulative dickwad. God, I wanted to slug him. Now, thankfully, I don't own those books, but, you know, I was borrowing a friend's copy, and I just gave it like, yeah, nope. And she's like, man, I know you read fast. I was like, no, I put him down. And we had a discussion about it, and he was trying to convince me that it's a good thing. Because, yeah, oh, God, the moment with Jaheira, holy crap. His argument was essentially that he really liked the fact that the person who had a ball spawn, you know, thing was this horrible, evil person, right? I can't do it, Giga. I can't do it. Literally. Oh, God. Oh, God. Giga, save me. Save me. It's okay. Vector will save me. My one true friend. Oh, God. Vector's not saving me. What do I do? What do I do? It's okay. I am now saved by my one true friend. No, the canon Baldur's Gate protagonist is an evil dickwad. That really isn't me making that up. Listen, Giga. It's not my fault that the map in this game is as terrible as Vector. Oh my gosh.
Welcome. Please select an available travel. Have a safe and...
You know what's funny is I think that's the second time I've been caught by this exact same map. I don't want to call it bugged, but just bad design. I think it's really dumb. It's active. I don't have anything else to add to it. It's very dumb. Name a character or two that's an asshole that in the end I'll end up liking them. Han Solo. The archetype, right? Like this... The jerk with a heart of gold certainly predates Han. But he's probably one of the biggest codifiers of that character archetype in modern Western literature. And by literature, I mean fiction. I was gonna say, I could just limit myself to Star Wars. We've got a couple. Atton's a good one. I like Atton. Reese absolutely qualifies. That's not Star Wars, but yeah, that's a big thing. I'm looking forward to Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 2 had a great story. I'd rather rip out my teeth than play it, but it did have a fantastic story. It also introduced me to the concept of voice acting being good in video games. Literally, it was the first game I played where they actually bothered to have good voice acting. The Arbiter from Halo 2, yeah, I could see that. I'm gonna toss out Midna from Twilight Princess, who is honestly one of my favorite Zelda characters in general. So, that works. No. Tales from the Borderlands, Reese. Oh, nice, Giga. Have you poked at it at all? I think I own it, too. I'm not sure about that. But obviously I'm waiting till, you know, it's out. I wouldn't say Abathur. I don't think that qualifies. Freya. That's an interesting one. I also wouldn't call Deadpool an asshole. Ocelot. I'm not sure I'd call him an asshole either. I definitely wouldn't call Arthas an asshole. Or Kel'Thuzad. That's... like, we're drifting a little bit there. I will say this, when we stream Baldur's Gate 3... How is Vivienne an asshole? We will go ahead and turn on streamer mode. And I hope that that will not go as horribly as I predict it will. Because it totally will. I'd say GLaDOS would qualify.
Let's get to the power generators. We have eggs to deliver.
Why did you have to say that, Vector? Also, that's what Vector says to Giga. You know, in the evening. We need to get going, Giga. We've got eggs to deliver. So, streamer mode, it allows the viewers to decide on dialogue options. It's baked in to the game. And, yeah. It's gonna be terrible. Here, let me look it up. Let me look it up. Hold on. See if there's any other options. So here we go. Twitch integration. Blah, 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 blah. Viewers in chat vote on dialogue, real time. You'll also get an overlay which will show character stats, inventory, and other critical information without having to pester the streamer constantly for things like character sheets and bags. This function can also help foster community runs that give viewers more investment and agency as the giant adventure unfolds. Yeah, I'm extremely looking forward to that. It's probably going to be triple positive territory because it's an extraordinarily cool idea. I can't believe nobody's done that yet, to be blunt. Hello, guardsman. Don't mind me. It's fine, I'm definitely not in combat with these enemies. I'm just gonna not exist here. Don't mind me. I don't understand that question, Jay Palmer. I'm sorry. Hi, Yada. Also, now you're confusing me, Lothario. So we were talking about asshole characters that I like. That I learned to like, I should say. Oh, Jesus.
Increasing combat pheromones.
And then you said, what about Vivian? And I said, I said questioningly, Vivian's an asshole? And then you said, how is Vivian an asshole? You called her an asshole! I cannot see target. Go, Vector! Oh, the streamer mode thing has nothing to do with Tor. It's for Baldur's Gate 3. Alright, what am I in combat with? Doesn't even say. Oh, whatever. Ah, okay. Whatever. Die. 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 Man, I don't know, Console Hawk. Like, I have so little memory of Vivienne, she had no impact on me, like, at all. She existed. That's about all I'm willing to say from her. Why are these people here? Why are they not dead? Why do you exist? God damn it! This is all Vector's fault. I blame you. No, it's the pheromones. It's the pheromones that just keep dragging the guards here. Okay, hang on. Let me make sure I don't. Oh, aggro this. There we go. Of course they do, Giga. If you know what I mean. Just think, Giga, you could have every guard in here and Vector, just like in a big pile, you know, just. God, this is gross. There go the eggs. And there go the bugs. Fly, my pretties. Yep, this is definitely the right song for this whole thing.
We should find Baroness J.
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. Oh my god. But yeah, I have so little memory of Vivienne. Like, I didn't like her, so I never used her. I don't even think we did our side quest when we were streaming it last time. It was a shame, because there's actually several pretty good side quests, or excuse me, side companions in Inquisition. Yeah, I know, Yada, I know. It's just... What the hell is Total Drama Island? Like, is that actually its name? Holy crap, who would... What? Okay, this is it. I just have to get past this elite, and everything will be fine. Sneak up here. Damn it! Okay, fine.
We fight for you. We fight for the nest.
So, I'm going to throw up a really quick Twitch poll. Should we do the horrifically evil thing? I'm not going to tell you what it is. Hang on. Let me get the Twitch poll going here. Of course it's harder to pull up a Twitch poll than it used to be. Why wouldn't it be? It's okay, I can run an ad really easily. It's gonna be a really short poll. There, go voot. Go voot. Voot, voot, voot. Ben 10? I've never even heard of that. Quick, vote no. Everyone vote no. Vote no. It's similar to vote now. Okay, hang on. Just a few seconds left. This is it. This is it. I voted no too, because I voted in my own poll. Quick. Quick. No. It's also very thematically ironic if we do yes, by the way. For reasons that'll be more apparent in Act 2.
What have you done?
Baron, I beg of you.
You have made an enemy of the Empire. You have brought vermin into my house.
I swear, I only wanted to protect us.
Silence! My honored guest, I bow my head in surrender, and I apologize for what's become of Cortez.
I'm here for your wife, Baron. She's committed terrorist offenses against the Empire.
I fought the only way I could. All I ever had was money.
Our reinforcements have arrived. We will attack on your signal.
I knew nothing of my wife's conspiracy. She only confessed once the house defenses were down. But I will make amends. Now, Captain.
You're an honorable man. I appreciate your sacrifice.
I had no other choice. Now, take your insects away from this place. We can discuss further recompense as civilized people.
We're afraid that's not your decision, Baron. Denry Ale and the Baroness are dead. With our assistance, the terrorist funding has been stopped. Now the nest will claim its price.
Would you like to guess what the nest's price is?
What are you talking about, Vector?
House Cortez will make a perfect extension of the hive. These rooms will become egg chambers and membrosia pools. The family can become joiners.
What? You cannot do this! I gave you my wife!
House Cortez opposed the Empire and must be subdued. The nest is growing and must expand its territory.
Do what you have to do. I'm finished here.
Excellent. We will secure the estate. The injured will be tended to and transformed. The dead will feed the larvae.
Damn you, damn all of you! House Cortez will have revenge!
Protect the Baron and attack!
Oh yeah, we also get an extra fight for that, because obviously they don't have to go quietly, but, yeah. These people are going to feed the hive, mentally or physically, or both.
Increasing combat pheromone.
The hive is secure. The injured will be tended to and transformed. The dead will feed the larvae.
I went along with this, Vector, but I don't need the details.
Of course, we understand. Now, we'd like to bring this mission to a close. With your permission, we'll upload House Cortez's data to Imperial Intelligence.
Oh yeah, in case you missed that, they are forcing the joining on people.
This is Keeper to Cipher 9. I'm receiving your transmission. Watchers are reviewing the Cortez logs now. It looks like you've wrapped up the terrorist financing situation. Congratulations.
Keeper, I wasn't expecting to hear from you.
I pay close attention to my operations. Preliminary analysis suggests the Eagle's terror network will run low on funds within weeks. The cells will look for alternative credit sources, of course. Let's not give them the chance to find any.
We'll keep them on the run. Anything else?
One other thing. I contacted Vector's superiors in the diplomatic service, and we've reached an agreement.
Sir?
Your requisition has been made permanent. You've been officially transferred to Imperial Intelligence. Cipher 9, from now on, Vector Hellis will act as a covert assault agent under your command. Understood?
Sir, don't I get some say?
No. Imperial Intelligence believes Vector Hellis is a useful tool, and someone needs to test him.
We understand your mistrust. We'll do our best to demonstrate we're worthy of the position.
Once you're through on Alderaan, return to your ship for debriefing. Watcher 2 should have updates ready for you. In the meantime, instruct Vector as you see fit. I expect he'll require additional training.
Yay.
Give me time. I can whip him into shape.
That's for you, Giga.
Stay alert, Cipher. Keep her out.
The Nest is pleased with the Empire and encourages this opportunity. We remain Dawn Herald, but we will travel at your side.
Just stay quiet and obey orders.
Acknowledged. We'll await your commands.
Yes, Killiks are literally an interstellar level threat. I mean, they helped build frickin' Centerpoint Station, for God's sakes. Never mind the fact that they, like the many, can spread and consume and spread and consume.
Have I mentioned recently how much I enjoy...
I will literally take Khalia 10 times out of 10 over Vector. Good God. In fact, let's just kind of do that there.
This is Watcher 2 to Cipher 9. Verify that you're receiving and prepare for takeoff. We've located the Eagle.
Tell me where.
We knew the Eagle had abandoned his old base, but until you neutralized that last cell, we didn't know the details. Now we do. The Eagle is on Hutter. Get there as soon as you can.
It all comes back to the beginning.
For you, at least. I have to go now, Cipher, but I'll brief you on site. Watcher 2 out.
It was so weirdly awkward pause. Like, just think that Watcher 2 was just waiting, like, is it going to... Is it going to... Okay, there it goes, there it goes. Whew, alright. Back to Hutter. This is such a nice ship. Just think, this ship has no bugs on it. Just savor that sensation for a moment.
Signal received. Transmission secure. All right, Cipher. Looks like this is the real thing. Ready to invade the Eagle's Nest?
I didn't come to drink tea with my Hutt friends.
I'll cancel the invitation to Nemro. The Eagle and his men are holed up in an old refinery beneath the river. Sending coordinates now. You'll lead the forward assault, but military reinforcements will surround the base and follow you in. Primary objective is to capture or eliminate the Eagle himself.
Acknowledged and understood.
Your secondary objective is the Eradicators. The terrorists have begun launching their biomechanical weapons over Imperial worlds. Once the devices are ready, the terrorists can fire on cities and military bases from orbit.
Why haven't the devices been activated already?
It could be the Eradicators aren't fully mature. It could be their activation is more complicated than expected. When you're in that base, don't let anyone escape. Don't let the Eagle murder again. Watcher 2 out.
I mean, you think this is dim, Act? Have you seen the Sith ship? Good God. Those people need to run around with, like, I-beams. Do I think the Killiks could eventually require a Halo Ring solution? Honestly, they're nowhere near the Flood. But yes, if the Killiks were actually allowed to get momentum, good God. It's not that hard to think about Killiks swarming over multiple planets and having a ludicrous amount of coordination and manpower in order to try and just kind of, you know, literally zerg their way through most of their enemies. Do I think the Krogans would be treated well by the Republic? No. Or the Empire? Definitely no. I mean, there's a reason there's literally an entire cast of people whose primary job it is to cull Killik numbers to make sure they never swarm too much on Alderaan. So. Like, you can say whatever you want about Vector. That's unrelated. You can have your boy toy, Giga. I don't care. Just...
take it slowly.
Ugh. Yeah. Oh, I do have them. Do you see these? Do you see these white men Brosia orbs? I threw them on the crowd! There we go. My dad ain't a cell phone. So let's see. Examples of an asshole character that got an unearned redemption or attempt to be a likable moment. Virtually every Mary Sue ever. But I think I will go with my now go-to example of that for a very good example of what you're talking about. Ja'ula. Ja'ula absolutely did not earn being the great hero of awesome. But she was, inexplicably. I mean, I know she's the sister of Takuvma, but am I aware of the April Fool's event on Reddit in our place? No. I don't really Reddit. Do you have an... Oh, I already answered that one. I already answered that one. I already answered that one. Any... Nirazaz asks, any games I'm looking forward to? Do you mean on the list? Excuse me. Do you mean on the queue? Or do you mean in general? I know, right, Trathon? It really did get to be ridiculous how often people would say, oh, you're pathetic and terrible, but I'm the sister of Takuvma. Oh, well then I will listen to your words. And it's just like, what's that do to your self-esteem? I like how the actual quest objective is to infiltrate the Eagle's Nest, which if you're paying attention is totally what we're doing. So, credit, I suppose.
Increasing combat pheromones.
Wait, why are you in my party, Vector? No! He's infested my party! My agent would not talk to him, no. But we'll talk more about that later. Coming, whoever that is, looks like Giga. Although, I could let Giga die. That way I could keep Vector all for myself. Yeah. Oh. She's fine. Exactly as planned. Oh my god. Okay. This is a problem.
Our song is ending.
Oh my god, Vector's about to die.
Are you well?
Hey, Shadow Machine. Un momento. Okay. God, Giga is a Killik. That would make a lot of sense. Oh, well, Vector's dead, and that's the important part. And now, we're going to summon Khalia.
Hey.
Never summon Vector again. The end. Thank you, Shadow Machine. I do always appreciate it, and I will jot that down for Mario Rabbids 2. Don't mind me.
Sir, we're cut off. Thurston and Gerald tried to get out, but the Imperials are all over the swamps.
They would be. Damnation. I promised Gerald she'd die with the detonator in one hand and a glass of brandy in the other. Seems she's made a liar of me.
I'm sorry, sir.
Don't be. You were everything I could have hoped for. Now carve us a path out. I'll follow soon. All right, I see you. The least I could do was send the boy off with hope. But have you seen the strength of the revolution? Cells on Nar Shaddaa, Tholet and Molvar, Alderaan, Balmorra. It's an inspiration, no matter how it ends.
Your inspiration is terrorism. Plain and simple.
Nothing is plain or simple about terrorism, about rebellion, or about covert intelligence. That's your field, I presume. You don't look military. Tell me something. How much of my story has the Empire uncovered? What have your methods found?
Why do you ask?
Because if you're going to fight me, you should know what you're facing. I was a starfighter pilot. I flew in the battles of Coruscant and Druckenwell. Those were romantic days. Then, I began to lose squad mates. Some fell to Republic troopers. Imperial intelligence erased others. I wondered, was my empire worth it?
What answer did you come to?
I realized that the Empire destroys people. Our once great society runs on human fuel and serves no purpose beyond ego. I decided to fight for a return to the old Empire. The Empire isolated on Drummond Cass for 1,000 years. I thought I could succeed.
You really think things were better before we showed ourselves to the Republic?
During our dark millennium, we reached our civilization's zenith. Modern ambition has corrupted us. I recruited allies who felt as I did, but we were so few. Then, I was approached by a patron, someone who gave me a list of other revolutionaries, other revolutions across the galaxy.
This patron. Who was he?
Even I'm not sure, but I'm more certain than ever how far the Empire has fallen. I sought my counterparts on many planets. They hated for different reasons, but we all shared a vision of the Empire's defeat. I gave up my name to lead them. I was no longer an ex-starfighter pilot. I was the Eagle. I was what the Revolution needed.
I'm Cypher 9. I'm the Empire's way of stopping you.
Killing me changes nothing. The Revolution lives on. Another Eagle will rise. Even in death, I'll have my victory. 6 dozen eradicator devices are already in place. They'll wait to receive orders, at first, but eventually without commands, they'll run rampant, fire blindly at cities from orbit.
Why would they do that?
Consider it a safeguard. Uncontrolled, the eradicators won't hit our targets, but chaos and death still send a message. Now, I believe my forces have had time to regroup. May whoever survives see a glorious future for the Empire.
So yeah, he's a true believer in the Empire. I actually like that little twist. He's not in it to free them from the oppression or tyranny of the Sith or any of that stuff. He is a good old days. That's just that extra little cherry on top.
Oh, damnation. Even surrounded, even seeing you, I didn't think it would happen like this. But as I said, it makes no difference. The eradicators will run rampant, the Empire will burn, and you have been betrayed.
Hold still. You need medical attention.
My patron, the one who showed me how to unite the cells, proposed the eradicators, is one of your own people. A traitor in your empire has been helping us all along. Your civilization is so corrupt that it's destroying itself.
Give me a name.
If I had one, I might. But I never learned the truth. Goodbye now. Watch me burn.
Detonator, get back!
Area is clear. Sir, are you all right?
Cypher 9, it's Watcher 3. Are you hurt? That was a nasty explosion.
A little singed, but better than the Eagle.
That really was him? Fantastic. Keeper sent me to assist with information retrieval, slicing the Eagle's computers. I'll also check out that device there. I think it's an Eradicator.
Move fast. The Eradicators may still be a threat.
Yes, sir. Cypher, I've got some preliminary findings. It's not good news. I overheard what the Eagle said. Looks like he was telling the truth. If no one gives the Eradicators new orders, they'll go mad. Fire randomly.
Who thought that was a good failsafe?
It's part of their organic nature. Not really a choice, I don't think. Here's the good part. I figured out their control mechanism. Transmit the proper codes, and you can set the device's targets, disable them, anything. The Eagle stored half the control codes on his computers. Someone else must have the second half.
The Eagle mentioned a patron.
Yes, sir. The one inside the Empire. I'm not sure what that means. You should head to Drummond Cass. I don't think there's anything more you can do here, and Keeper wants you back at headquarters.
Like any good spy game, we have a lot of possibilities, Justin. I'm keeping my mouth shut, though, and anybody who spoils it is going to be temporarily banned. Just so you know. And... oh, sorry, Hazardous. Do me a favor, don't guess out loud. But yes, by all means, guess. Oh, by the way, Latario, in answer to your question, Crimea. Nihilus would just eat everything, and there would be no one to stop him. So Nihilus would probably eradicate the entire galaxy. Like that, if Nihilus is in this era, that's game. Like it or not.
Cypher 9, come inside. This should be a triumphant moment. It's a tremendous achievement bringing down the Eagle. The crisis has only escalated. The Eradicators could begin firing at any moment.
I understand, sir.
Watcher 2, your report.
The Moths have placed local forces on alert, and a search for the Eradicators is underway. Unfortunately, trends suggest we can only find one device every 5 hours. It'll be weeks before we destroy them all.
Disappointing, but not a surprise. Damage projections?
Estimates are 10 to 50 million deaths on each planet targeted. 40% military, 60% civilian.
Oh!
Even at the low end, that's unacceptable.
Agreed. It sends the message that the Empire is vulnerable.
In order to deactivate the Eradicators en masse, we need the control codes. Half the codes were on the Eagle's computers. We can only surmise that the other half are with the Eagle's patron.
Yes, the patron. A man whom the Eagle claims is inside the Empire.
You sound skeptical.
I have my doubt that this patron is really a highly placed Imperial. It seems unlikely such a person could escape our scrutiny.
Nonetheless, we can't ignore the possibility of a traitor. That's why we're meeting privately. Only the people in this room know the full situation.
You sent Watcher 3 to Hatta. He knows too.
An oversight. Watcher 3 has been instructed not to speak to anyone. Finish the report, Watcher 2.
The Eagle had been sending periodic transmissions to someone in the Artus system. Artus is uninhabited, devoid of resources and off the major hyperlanes. Our patron could certainly hide there.
I want you to lead a mission to Artus. You're to find the Eagle's patron and obtain his half of the control codes. Watcher 2 will rendezvous with you there. She knows more about the Eradicators than anyone.
Are you all right with this?
I'll do what's necessary.
Your ships will be outfitted with cloaking devices. They'll only last one jump, but they'll get you into Artus unnoticed. After that, infiltrate whatever base the patron is using. Recover the Eradicator control codes and stop the threat. Watcher 2, you're dismissed.
If you want to talk before the mission, I'll be at my station.
There is one more thing. Darth Zorid heard you were returning to Drummond Cass. She wants to speak to you.
I'm sorry about before, when she tortured you.
You aren't to blame. Zorid is unpredictable. I've done my best to shield intelligence from our new lord. You've been the unfortunate exception. Do what it takes to survive Zorid's attentions a little longer. Beyond that, the Dark Council won't let this continue forever.
I believe I understand.
When you're through, head to the Artus system. This is our only chance, Cypher. Fail, and we all pay a grievous cost.
Cypher, I'm glad you stopped by. I've been going over the mission parameters, studying the Eradicator control codes, scans of the Artus system. We're facing a mystery, and I hate mysteries.
You should get some rest before we leave.
I don't remember how. Times like this, I wonder if it took much more to push Watcher X over the edge. What about you? What's been going through your head since this countdown to Eradication Day started?
It's hard not to wonder where it all ends sometimes.
It doesn't. Not until your death. The crisis may change, but the job doesn't.
That's why it's important we stick together.
It's worth remembering. You've been a good partner, you know. A struggle sometimes, but you know what you're doing. I admire that.
That's nice to hear you say.
In any case, you should get ready. The Eradicators won't wait for either of us.
No time for chat, then.
Even less than usual. Once you take off for the Artus system, I'll be on your tail. We'll meet out there.
In case you're wondering, you can romance her.
Rise and shine.
It's not a permanent romance. She cuts it off at a certain point in the story. But if you're wondering why we get these little private scenes with her, that's why. It's there so that the slot in cutscenes is there for the romance. If you're wondering why we can't romance her, it's because this is a game that was written in 2008, and we are female.
All right, make me look...
Ready for departure.
Right, let's just do this.
Rise and shine.
No, Savacom. It gets 5! Or however many we're up to at this point. 1, 2, 3... Looks like we are actually up to 5 at the moment.
You and me, we're getting good.
Liara got away from it by virtue of not technically being female. And let's be clear, that is a technically.
Physical trauma includes electrical burns,
so this is funny,
and retinal damage.
Enjoy this.
Transfer to a Colto tank for long-term recovery is strongly recommended.
You suggest a Dark Council member hide in a vat? For healing?
I am programmed to dispense medical advice based on all relevant factors.
Get out! Have yourself disassembled made into a probe and sent to the most desolate place in the Empire. Look, Agent, they hurt me, and then they laughed. How could they?
Who did, my lord?
I thought I was ready. I called the council to assembly. I demanded the lords give me the respect I was due. Some were angry, mocked me. They tormented me and warned me not to overstep my bounds again.
You'll get revenge on them, surely.
Oh, Age, you don't understand. It's all Jadis's fault. He was my master, but he never taught me what I needed to know. Now he's dead, and I'm not ready for his council seat.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm so sorry.
For letting my father get assassinated, or for failing me. I know what's happening in Imperial intelligence. I know you're going on a mission, and that the Eagle wasn't the man you thought. Swear that you'll find whoever really killed my father. Swear that the man responsible will pay for forcing me into this wretched life.
I swear I will make him pay.
Yes. You will exact my revenge, and the world will be made right. I have gifts for you, Agent. Take them with my blessing and leave me to salt my wounds. And to gain strength from my hatred.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and spoil something right now. The end of Act 1 for Agent has 3 broad paths it can go down. More so than any other class in the game. You know how Sith Warrior has 2 big paths? Agent has 3. One of them involves us going back and killing Zorid. Just so you know, we're not doing that. Right, I need to actually get people on my ship. So let's do this. Which is most satisfying? The other one we will also not be doing. We have not, Blade Jabal. I've been kind of keeping my options open a little bit. What we will be doing is honestly probably the most boring path, but let's be clear, it is without question the most correct path of the 3. The second path is the most dangerous and the most satisfying. The first path is the stupidest, and that's where we get to go kill Zorid. Is everyone in? I guess I'll wait. I know, Psychotic, it's bonkers. Easily multiple positive territory. And not just because it's an MMO. This would get positives even in a single-player game. Oh yeah, by the way, someone asked, Dragon Age Origins, which has same-sex relations, actually started writing in 2002. So make of that what you will. It actually does make me wonder why they were so hesitant to do so in this game. Oh, never mind. I know exactly why. It's because it's Star Wars. Right. Never mind. That makes sense. Correct. Shadow Machine. I'm pretty sure based on the path we are going to pick, Savicom, we will never talk to her again. No, it's because it was Star Wars. Nice place.
All right, make me look good. Nice place. The Eagle's partner travels in style.
Cypher, there's no one to welcome us. Seems our cloaking devices worked. Don't get overconfident. This could be a trap. I'm aware of that possibility. This starship is a modified Imperial dreadnought, Maximum crew complement of 5,000. It's also jamming long-range communications, so I can't check its registration or call for reinforcements.
Our traitor is hiding his tracks.
Nonetheless, top priority is finding the eradicated command codes before the weapons initiate a random firing pattern. This data spike contains our half of the codes. Once you obtain the other half, you should be able to control the eradicators from any computer. Let's hope the codes are really here. We know this place is important. An Imperial dreadnought isn't hiding in deep space for nothing. I do have one other thing for you. A comlink implant. So long as you're wearing it, I can monitor your situation and speak to you privately.
Is this one-way communication, or can I reply?
Subvocally. Whisper to me and no one else will hear. While you search the interior, I'll try to slice the security systems. We're counting on you. Put an end to this.
It's a grand social experiment. There's probably 100 of us from across the Empire, all saved from the fire. Who knows how or why. For the most part, we're left to ourselves, squabbling and fighting, left to fear our own shadows. But we know the Master's out there, and I'm convinced there's a plan at work. Somebody wants to change us. Someone wants to control us.
It's been... I don't know how long it's been. I lose count of the days during the blackouts. The ones furthest along. They say our terror transforms us into the Master's image. Well, I'll tell the Master what's really happening. We're learning to fight back. Do you hear me, Master? We'll kill you for this. We'll kill you.
Rise and shine.
I was so happy when I got the invitation. Everything was going to change for me. Leave home for a year? Why has the Master picked me to survive when hundreds died? And now the rest of us, one by one. My mother was a slave, but I wasn't, because my father was an officer. I don't want to end up like her. Oh, please. Please, someone rescue us.
All right, make me look good. You feel that prickling? Like maggots.
So, you've arrived at last.
Cypher, I know that voice.
I expected too little of you. You served me well on Hutter and on Dromund Kaas. I should have known you would serve me again.
Are you responsible for this?
Everything that has transpired has been at my command. My will is the destiny of lesser men.
Okay, you're going down right now.
Your follower believes she has been betrayed. She is contemptible and beneath me.
Creepy scumbag. You are so dead.
Accept the gift of your life, Agent, and we will discuss terror, the Empire, and the Sith.
You talk. I'll listen.
Be careful, Cypher. Please be careful.
I'm trying to analyze the situation, but it'll take time, and if he has the command codes...
It was my desire that the Eagle unite the terror cells. It was my desire that my flagship be destroyed. I required a weapon that the Dark Council would overlook. The terrorists became my unknowing servants and carried out my plan.
Are you getting all this?
I can hear everything. I'm so sorry we weren't prepared.
With my false death, I escaped the eyes of the Dark Council and of Imperial intelligence. After the Dominator, I came here, bringing with me those passengers worthy of elevation. I maneuvered my pieces into place.
What's the point of it all?
Keep him talking. Damn it. We can't fight him on our own. His power is second to the Emperor's.
I accomplished two things during my absence. First was the diminution of the Dark Council. Upon my death, my former enemies began warring amongst themselves, vying to claim my resources. Darth Jored's arrival escalated the chaos. My daughter is doomed, but she is an adequate distraction.
I can't call for reinforcements so long as that jamming field is active. But he'll annihilate anything less than an army.
I want to give away something, just to really emphasize. Within Star Wars, most people have an inherent Force connection to someone really significant to them, someone they really care about. Especially Force users. Generally speaking, any Force user can feel it when someone they care about or love dies. I'm going to give this away right now. The third option I mentioned, the worst possible outcome, we can join Jadis here. If we do, he sends us to kill his daughter, Jored. Upon doing so, he has to call us to confirm that we did it, because he didn't feel anything.
No one's invincible. A bolt to the brain.
You've never fought a true Sith Lord or a Jedi Master. They're not like us, they're not human. You can't win this with a blaster.
Throwing the Sith into disorder was only the start. The rest of the Empire had to be prepared as well. That was the Eagle's purpose, to sow fright and hatred. All this while, my Eradicators were growing. Now they are ready, and my victory is close at hand.
I heard this part from the Eagle. Your orbital strike weapons.
The Eradicators will destroy the strongholds and apprentices of my enemies on the Council. So too will the Eradicators terrorize the Empire. Then I will return to the Council and lead the Empire into a new age, an epoch of terror.
The Emperor won't let you get that far.
The Emperor is distracted. I could resculpt the Dark Temple into a monument to my glory, and he would fail to object. Perhaps I shall do exactly that.
I see where this is going. He needs the Eradicators to make this work, but you have half the command codes.
Under my rule, all people will revel in fear and degradation. These prizes will no longer be hoarded by Sith. But without both halves of the Eradicator codes, my weapons cannot be targeted. They will merely cause chaos.
Mere chaos isn't enough for you, is it?
No. The Eagle's death, your acquisition of his codes, has forced me to adapt. Without orders, the Eradicators will fire blindly. This serves neither of us. Enter your codes into the ship so the Eradicators can target my enemies. You will be rewarded. You will be my herald.
Oh, and yes, he is directly referencing the voice and the Barris thing, which, remember, has been going on for about 8 years at this point. Of course he knows about that.
You expect me to betray the Empire for you?
Soon I shall be the Empire. If you refuse, you will die at my hand. The Eradicators will still reap untold destruction. Your sacrifice would mean nothing. I can be merciful. Take the time to consider your choice. Then we can begin the true work.
You haven't thought this through. Kill me, and I take the codes with me.
A bold sentiment, but not a wise one. With your death, neither of us achieves our desire, and only I will be in a position to form a new plan.
You're wrong, Jadis. You won't be in a position to do anything.
Cypher, what are you doing?
Tell me, Agent, what possible advantage could you have over me? You're in my sanctuary, and my power is infinite.
This conversation is being recorded. Even if I'm dead, other people will know your plan.
Your friends at the ship. They're incapable of defeating me. Their lives are forfeit.
You can't kill all of them. Someone will escape, and they'll tell everyone your plot.
And then what? Let them tell the world that I live, and I will still prevail.
I'm not doing this on purpose, it just feels like such a natural conversation flow. If you're paying attention, this is the best cutscene option, aka the one that we shouldn't actually do.
Darth Jorid and the others will put aside their differences. Ally against you.
You are a fool. You think my foes are capable of doing me harm, that I am so vulnerable?
You need secrecy to work. I can expose you.
Arrogant creature. Suppose your allies scatter across the galaxy, spreading word of my existence. Suppose they rally an army. I am still capable of destroying you. You cannot withstand me.
Cypher, enough. He's going to kill you.
Are you so willing to die before you give up the codes? So confident of victory in death? Shall we test it?
So here's the deal. Yeah, no kidding, Psychotic. This is actually a conversation boss. We've actually discussed that concept before when we were reviewing KOTOR 2. Remember that? It was something that Obsidian and the writers behind and the designers behind Obsidian believed very firmly in. It's something I believe very firmly in. The idea that it should be possible to play through a conversation in a specific way to defeat a boss without using stats and numbers. This is one of the reasons why I've always very firmly believed that choices, like those 3 choices on the screen right there, are an aspect of gameplay, not story. They certainly affect the story, but this is choice. This is how we are playing the game. And it's one of the things that I've always loved about BioWare when they do this properly. This is, to my knowledge, the only conversation boss in the game. And this is an awesome conversation boss. Now, I'm going to kind of back away from the conversation boss, because I'm just going to tell you how this works out. The way this works out, if you talk him down, is you successfully outmaneuver him and out-position him and get him to admit that if he kills you, his entire plan will be screwed. And he is sufficiently smart and intelligent, despite all the horribleness, to recognize that the minute satisfaction of killing us is not worth the grand-scale loss of his overall scheme. So he backs down, gives us the codes, and walks away. Now, it's awesome. It is such an awesome moment. But the problem is, it has one gargantuan flaw. It leaves Jadis alive. And that cannot happen.
Let's leave that question open, shall we?
A wise decision. Enough. My time will not be wasted. Consider my offer.
All right, stay focused and don't look at Jadis. How are you holding up? Can we put together a plan?
I know what I'm going to do. It wasn't a hard choice.
Before you make any decisions, please, hear me out. We need to re-examine our priorities. We came here to stop the Eradicators, but we weren't prepared for reality. Our plan now has to focus on neutralizing Darth Jadis. Everything else is peripheral.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, Cypher. The numbers aren't in our favor. You can deactivate the Eradicators right now. Just combine the codes in the bridge computers. But to keep Jadis from reactivating them, you'd have to blow up the ship's reactor. It's a suicide run, and chances are Jadis would escape.
You have another suggestion?
We trick Jadis. We give him the codes and let him launch his attack. Once the Eradicators start their bombardment, you slip off the bridge and take the ship apart. You sabotage the jamming field, hyperdrive, and shields. Then I can call in reinforcements. The military, the Dark Council, forcing Jadis to surrender. The Eradicators are deactivated as soon as feasible.
How many people, how many worlds are sacrificed?
Let's be clear. If we give Jadis the command codes, then yes, he'll murder thousands before we stop him. But the human cost is acceptable. The only alternative is to let Jadis escape and do worse down the line.
And that, by the way, is a brilliant dilemma.
The human cost isn't acceptable to me.
I can't tell you what to do, Cypher. If you disable the Eradicators here and now, I'll help you. We'll destroy this ship, save a lot of people, in the short term. But my advice is this. Use the codes to let Jadis launch his attack. Sacrifice lives and seize this chance. We can end his threat forever.
And the game even pauses to start a second conversation hub to give you the option here of what exactly to do. Have I mentioned that Agent is by far the best designed of the various story arcs? You wonder why Agent is considered the best stuff. It's things like this. And I want to stress, I absolutely gush about the Sith Warrior end of Act 1. This blows it completely out of the water. So, we're going to go ahead and roll the dice on something that honestly shouldn't happen, but this is a little bit of cheating. It's probably the only chink in this entire story arc. So, we disable the Eradicators.
The Eradicators are offline. Repeat, the Eradicators are offline. Let's hope this works.
I expected more of you. Disabling the Eradicators will not stop me. You will die unwarned, and I will reactivate the devices and begin my assault.
Really, Jadis? Have more faith in me.
Whatever you think you are capable of, or believe you have accomplished, all of it is dust. Only I am eternal.
He'll kill you, Cypher.
You can't fight Jadis, but you might slow him down. This ship can generate internal ray shielding.
Now, kneel before your doom.
If you can reroute the power, we can trap him in a force field, then get to the reactor core and destroy this ship.
Let's be clear, this is actually an extremely hard fight. Probably, I'd say, the third hardest fight in the entire game.
To take out these components to reroute power to the force fields.
It's funny how much we're stomping this, because this fight was rough.
Cypher, hit him now!
Especially since we're playing, you know, a blaster type. Yeah, in vanilla, I needed help to do this fight. It's funny, because I'm getting help now, but you get my point.
I still need more power to get that force field up.
You remember how one of the reasons that made the Drog fights so hard is you had to do them back-to-back with no real pause? Well, this is how you do that properly. I actually dinged the Drog fight for that nonsense. For this is substantially better constructed.
Keep him distracted, and I can raise the force field.
I gotta be blunt, Latario, this might be the best Star Wars game I've ever fought, even despite its problems, so absolutely. If the whole game had the level of quality of this sequence...
Almost there, Cypher. Just a little more.
This... oh, God. I don't even know what to add to that. I really don't. The only question is how many positives is this going to get for this? Because it's more than a few. You say that, Lord Harriman. We didn't actually beat him in a one-on-one fight, if you're paying attention. We stalled him. Okay.
You and me? Getting good.
So, I'm actually going to disagree with you flat on that, Lord Harriman. We successfully slowed him down enough to stall him enough to trap him on his own shields on his own ship. By doing what agents do best. Outthinking. God damn it, why am I in combat? Die. Oh, if you're paying attention, of the 3 possible routes, this is the only one that kills Jadis. We either join him on the other route, or outmaneuver him and he flees on the other route. But at least here we actually kill his ass. I remember when I first played this, I was irritated we couldn't kill him on a one-on-one fight. But that was entirely because I just wanted to kill him. In hindsight, and with the advantage of analysis, this is brilliant.
All right, make me look good.
Ship's power level's becoming unstable. You did it, Cypher. This whole place is about to explode.
Give me a status update. The Sith?
Out of the force field and on his way to a shuttle. I can't abort the launch. He's got a clean escape.
Too bad we can't make him pay.
You decided that stopping the Eradicators was more important. You knew what you were doing. I'm taking off, but I'll wait in system as long as I can. You need to get out before the reactor detonates. Good luck.
Sorry, I should mention that Jadis actually survived here because I didn't destroy the Eradicator thing. That's my bad. No one doing that now, so whatever. I actually forgot about that, otherwise I would have done it the other way. That's on me. I could restart the whole mission. We'd go back quite a ways. Let's just pretend I fired the Eradicator and did everything and killed lots and lots of innocent people to make sure Jadis died. Because that's what I was going for, and I just apparently forgot that that was connected to that. No, this is the song I selected about a year ago, actually, to be the theme song for Jadis. This is a song called Europe, actually, but there's a series of songs I picked. It's actually like 5 songs, all from a game called Body Harvest. It felt appropriate for Jadis. If you were paying attention when they started talking about the Imperial Informant, I played this too. That was yesterday. Just as a little bit of foreshadowing.
I was afraid you wouldn't make it, Cypher. Good to see you alive. The self-destruct sequence is complete. Jadis' ship has been reduced to cinders in Artis V's gravity well, and the Eradicator command codes went with it.
Any way to know what he'll do next?
No. I didn't even get a course projection when his shuttle jumped to hyperspace. I'm sending a message to Keeper. These events will cause complications among the Sith, but I expect the Dark Council will sort matters quietly. They'll keep Jadis on the run, and we stopped a massacre.
I know you had doubts about the plan.
I ran the numbers. I dread the day Jadis returns and what he'll do. But the call was yours, and I'm glad no one had to die.
The song of the universe favors our actions. The nest, our empire, is stronger for it.
I'll take that as a compliment.
That is how it was intended.
The bug boy has a point. You didn't do bad. I'd have gutted the Sith, though.
Yeah.
Come on. Don't tell me you didn't get a rush.
Sure. Running from a Dark Lord on an exploding ship. It's the reason I stick with you.
I'll see you at headquarters, Cypher. Enjoy the downtime while it lasts. There'll be debriefings, cleanup, and sooner than you think, Keeper will have your next assignment.
See you back at home, Watcher 2.
Mission accomplished. Watcher 2 out.
And that is Act 1. Oh. God, that's just such a brilliantly constructed sequence. God damn, that's good. I gotta think about how we parcel that out. So I'm guessing that's what killed Orcano's connection. Maybe, I don't know. That's a good question. Hang on. So Sith Inquisitor. Let's actually do a number thing here, shall we? Let me scroll up. So Bounty Hunter had a lot of positives in Act 1. Because Bounty Hunter's Act 1 was really good. I'm gonna ignore gameplay, just to make this simple. Let's just look at story for a moment. So, Act 1 of Bounty Hunter had 20 story positives. Very strong Act 1. Warrior had... $35. Sorry, that took a minute. Inquisitor had 12. Because Inquisitor's Act 1 isn't nearly as strong as some of the other ones. But Agent... I'm not counting Zash in that, because Zash passes past Act 1. Because Zash had her own bundle of positives. Yeah, Inquisitor ends really strong. Inquisitor, by far, has the best outro we've seen to date. I'm curious if Agent will beat it. Yeah, he had Sith parents, Lothario. Yeah, and sorry for deliberately ignoring questions during that whole sequence. I really wanted you to absorb and appreciate that entire Act 1 conclusion. Yeah, so there's join, talk down, fight and escape, and fight and kill are the 4 options there for Act 1. Obviously, 2 of those are actually variants on each other, whereas the other 2 are substantially different. If we, as I already told you, if we join him, we would get another bonus quest right here to go and kill Jorid. Now, I'm just going to go and give this away. As much as it's awesome that we could join Jadis, he decides he doesn't give a damn about this crap and decides to peace out during Chapter 2. And so Chapter 2 doesn't really change all that much. And Jadis is mentioned in future works, but he kind of leaves the scene whether we kill him, entrap him, or whatever. He just kind of stops being as relevant. It's really strange. I shouldn't be hungry. I ate a full breakfast. It's a big scene, Lord Harrimon. It's why I, like I said, I wanted to just remove, like, normally we're kind of smooth and chill about these kind of long-term streams. I really wanted everyone to be able to focus on that scene, because that's just, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of connecting threads tying in. Whole lot of awesome stuff. So let's start by saying that I love the fact that it's a conversation boss. Something that is all too rare in Tor. It's a damn shame because, again, games of this style, CRPGs and adjacent styles of games, should, in my opinion, have conversation bosses, you know. Fallout, Baldur's Gate, KOTOR 2, actually. You know, DOS 2. There needs to be those kind of things in these kind of games. So, Deus Ex, another good example. Disco Elysium, yeah, it's another good example. So I absolutely think that while it kind of sucks that we don't have more, I am very glad that we have at least one. So I'm thinking a bare minimum of 2 pluses to gameplay here. 1 for the choices we have in that sequence, and 1 for the dialogue boss itself. Thoughts? Agreed, Pillars of Snow. I could easily be talked up to 3. It would not be hard. That's a great gameplay sequence. And it is a very strong Act 1 finish. I'm seeing some consensus, so let's go ahead and do this. So, let's do this. It absolutely will, Ect. I will probably not actually do that particular dialogue boss, because I'd rather kill his ass. But I know that option exists, and it will probably get a positive for it, so... Oh yeah, very tense. The game... It's actually funny. If I can completely sidebar for just a second, if you don't mind. Something that irritates me a little bit, is when people say that there's no tension in video games or fiction because you know the good guys are going to win. Now, the reason that irritates me is because I think it's too dismissive of something that's more complex than it seems to be. Because, of course, Picard's still going to be alive at the end of the episode. That doesn't mean we can't have tension. That doesn't mean we can't care. That doesn't mean there can't be consequences. In my opinion, it's not a binary thing. It's not, you're willing to kill off main characters and be, Walking Dead, or you're not, and you're Star Trek. I think there's actually a gradient in between these two things. And how well a game or a show or a movie or a book or a theater play does by making you feel what's happening and care about what's happening and build up that kind of tension and drama and suspense, even though we're playing a video game in which if we die, we could either reload a save or just, do the fight again or whatever and, respawn at the graveyard. That's the hallmark of a good game, show, book, movie, etc., in my opinion. Because, obviously, we're going to beat Jadis. He's not going to be capable of defeating us, because worst comes to worst, we just respawn at the graveyard and go try again, right? But the way it shows that, the execution, the presentation, the dialogue, and the camera angles, and the emphasis, and the voice acting, all made that a very tense scene, even though there was technically no actual tension, because there was no real threat. And that's my point. It's an actual line of reasoning that I've not... Exactly, Pillagers, no. It's a line of reasoning I've seen amongst fans, but it really irritates me when I see it amongst creators. Because I've seen a lot of creators, a lot of writers, and a lot of storytellers who think that you have to kill off characters, and it's always kill, in order to make sure that the viewers feel that tension and feel those stakes. And I vastly disagree with that. First of all, there's many ways to have consequences without killing someone. Let's just get the obvious out of the way. But second of all, again, the cutscene we just had... Yeah, exactly, Trithon. It's the red shirt crap. It's cheap if you take it to an extreme. But the scene we just saw is a perfect example of how to make tension and make suspense and make stakes without having to kill anybody and knowing that the good guys were going to win. The player character was going to succeed at that. It's all about that presentation and execution. Forgive me for the sidebar, but this is something that's been a burr up my ass for frickin' years at this point. God. Betrayal, yeah, I do think betrayal is overused in a similar manner to try and generate drama, especially when it's not done with any logic. But that's neither here nor there. Unfortunately, I can't speak to that at the moment, Dr. Winter, because we're not reviewing Fallout New Vegas. But do me a favor and save that one, because, the BRPG block is going to be a thing someday. Yeah, you know what? Halo Reach is another good example. We all knew what we were getting into in Halo Reach. Doesn't mean we don't care, and it doesn't mean we don't try, right? I'm getting off topic. I wanted to smash that point into the ground really quick, because good God. Alright, so... Plus to gameplay for the dialogue boss. Plus to choices. And I think we're going to give 2 for that. Shut up, Yada. Yeah, objective survive. Enough said. Oh, trust me. So, another thing I like about Agent? Consequences. Everything that just happened will have a direct impact on the plot going forwards. I will not spoil how, do not worry. But I just wanted you to be aware of the fact that one thing that Agent lives and breathes is consequence storytelling. Now let's look at the story axis of things. So we've given 3 gameplay positives for that boss encounter. That's the first boss positive I've given this entire game, by the way. God, that's sad. Alright, where do I even begin? I mean, in fairness, Mass Effect 1 probably won't get any boss positives either. Now, Mass Effect 2 might. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see when we get there. Sorry, Giga. Tell him you were laughing about Vector. Get him jealous. Oh, I'm with you on that, Dr. Winter. I so disagree with the idea that the only way to have tension in a video game is permadeath. That's such a... This came up, I think it was during Prey. We were playing something, it was this year, and I was talking about how much suspense and tension I have in stealth gameplay, even if there's no stakes. Do you remember that? Because someone was arguing that you need to have severe punishment in a stealth gameplay in order for it to have the tension. And it's the exact same concept, right? You have to have some kind of permadeath, or you have to not have mid-mission checkpoints, or whatever. And I was just like, no. I can attest to dozens of stealth games where the game, through audio design and through level design and through presentation and through story connection and through visual storytelling, it just creates tension, even though I know that if I get caught, it's like, all right, I'll just go back 5 feet. I don't care. I'm in the moment, and I love that. Yeah, exactly. If Dishonored tried that nonsense... God. Or Dishonored 2, which I think has quick saves, I believe, because I remember doing that a lot. Yeah, sorry, Arcano. Oh, right, so yeah, there's the Zorid conversation that we didn't get. I didn't mean to not get that. I'm gonna read that out loud. In a conversation with Zorid, she could tell how she started her training. She was getting singing lessons until she was really good at singing. Then when she was ready, Jadis organized a performance with many high-ranking people in attending, and she sang for hours until her throat was ruined and she lost the ability to sing. Thus purged of the capacity for song, I saw my father smile, and that's how I began my apprenticeship. Also true, Blake Jamal. The Batman games tend to do that, and honestly, so do the Dishonoreds. Yeah, Jadis is such a wonderful person. God, okay. Oh, sorry, Magister, right. It's because he doesn't care about her. That's it. That's the answer. I thought that was obvious. That's why I didn't... Yeah. 40 pluses to Agent for Act 1. Best Act 1 of the game. By the numbers. I'm not even including gameplay in that. I'm pretty sure it also has the best gameplay of Act 1 of any of them, but I'm not even looking at that. It's going to dump all of this in MSQ. Except for this one. This one is a moment. And you know what's funny? I stand by that. Completely. Main story quest is what it stands for, Act. It means mandatory, primary mandatory, to use my own terminology. Primary mandatory, primary optional, secondary, task. Almost all content in any video game can be divided into these 4 categories, in order of relative importance. If I put aggregate, so sometimes something's good or bad, but it's not good or bad enough for a full positive or negative, J. Palmer. So instead it becomes part of an aggregate. And then you have 1 or 2 or 3 or 8 or 15 things that are good or bad, and those bake up into one aggregate, positive or negative. You know what? I think Agent will actually beat Sith Warrior. I wasn't sure about that until I started replaying it. Good lord. How will Act 2 and 3 hold up? Don't say anything. Nobody in chat say anything. We'll see. Well, the thing is, and one of the reasons I've always held, Sith Warrior at the top of the list, is because Sith Warrior is actually fun to play. Agent is not. Don't mistake me, I enjoy the sniper spec, but you'll notice we are not the sniper spec, and won't be for the rest of the game. Whereas in Sith Warrior, I can just be like, yeah! I hate this spec. I don't mean to be dismissive. I hate playing as the spec I currently am. It's just... God. Let me, clear out a few things here. Yeah, exactly, Trathon. But anyways, I will be right back because I'm actually starting to shake a bit, so I needed something. Right back.
Agent, we're finalizing our exit report for the diplomatic service. 34 pages of seating charts, ambassador profiles, and appendices. We'll transmit it to our superiors, and then we're yours full-time.
Any second thoughts about leaving diplomacy for intelligence?
We'll miss it, and we're sorry to hand over the unfinished work, but they'll do fine without me. You know, we used to advise first contact missions to new star systems. We met some unusual people, but we haven't had many new experiences since joining the Killiks. Time to broaden our horizons.
You said before the Killiks approved of your departure.
Yes. We will return someday with more to offer the nest than ever. In the meantime, we'll follow your lead.
As I think the music indicates, Mr. Red, yes, that is a Killik drone.
All right, we've got a problem. I told you about my ex-partners, how they decided to come after me. Well, that's fine. I can deal with that. What's not fine is when random freaking bounty hunters come after me because they smell a trend.
You do know that most people don't have this problem.
Yeah, I know. Guy's called the Menace. Never worked with him, never dated him, never heard of him. He's tracking me down. Apparently got a rep as a duelist. Probably wants to auction me to anyone with a grudge.
Do we know his hunting style? Hangouts? Long-term clients?
No, no, and no. Figure he can't be that good if I haven't heard about him, right? Look, we need to do something. Get a little aggressive. You in?
Tell me what you need and you've got it.
Not totally sure yet, but I'll let you know when I've got a plan. You and me. We're gonna get these people.
Did you get my answer for the 20 years question, Latario? Because I did actually answer that one out loud. I like Overlore, personally, Gigapudding. Most people don't even notice the shift there. But, let's see. There's not a question. You have a Jedi Knight question. And you asked, given that no matter what Jadis doesn't die, do you think he's guaranteed to come back in the expansion? I hope not, but I don't know. I would guess yes. Also, your last question, what if the Jedi Knight storyline in Tor in general had been better if Jadis replayed Vitiate? Yes. I mean, granted, that wouldn't help the other problems with the Jedi Knight arc, but I think, you know, it would work better in vanilla than Vitiate.
Hey, so I've got credits and a couple of free hours. You want to find a cantina, have a few drinks, start a few fights?
I don't spend many of my off hours in cantinas.
So try something new. Not like you have something better to do.
I should warn you, they train us to tolerate a hard night out.
Yeah? Then come on, impress me.
Oh, there's a twist for you. What if
You're
Jadis
more
was
fun
the
than you
Emperor?
look, Agent, but I'm still a better dancer. Keep this up, maybe things will work out after all.
Shut up, Khalia.
So here's the deal. I've been working through the list of guys and gals who might come after me. Ex-partners, hookups, the usual. I think I know everyone who's a problem. We hit them first, we clean house, I'm home free. Ready to go?
Is it really necessary to go after these people?
If we don't, they'll come after me. They'll put attention on me and your cover will be threatened. There's 4 targets. Roll my pirate, Yajal the arms dealer, Tatigel the card shark, and that bounty hunter who's following along. I've got locations, so all we need to do is show up and start shooting.
I'm not killing anyone until we've exhausted all options.
Fine. Whatever gets you to go. You really aren't any fun.
I mean, yeah. I know, right, Gigapudding? Something approaching, you know, not just being a fade to black.
Master. I've just completed a new meal plan for your culinary pleasure.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure the Dark Council would lose to Luke. Maybe not in a one-on-one fight, but still. Well, you see, Magister. I don't know.
You and me?
I got nothing. While we're on our way here, let's look at a couple of questions here. Let's see. Oh, there's the Lanius thing. I've actually answered a lot of these questions.
You and me? We're getting good.
Do I think it's true that Jadis' power is second only to the Emperor? No. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of other Sith. Sith who would probably be stronger in terms of just raw power. For God's sakes, fine. Oh God!
Rise and shine.
You were bold to attack, Leo.
How's the arm?
You shattered my bones. My bones mend. Our wounds went deeper.
How do you break a Wookiee's arm?
Come on, look tough.
She stole from me. Tried to kill after I treated her as my daughter.
I wanted a bigger cut. You said no. We raided ships for a living. What did you think would happen?
I expected gratitude.
Forget that. Anyway, I've got a friend this time. Wait till you see her work.
I wasn't expecting a pirate to be so sentimental.
Oh, don't get him started.
I murdered dozens each day. She was family. This is why she must die. Her bones will decorate this ship. Noticing a trend, by the way? Yeah, I wouldn't put Valron that high in terms of personal power. But I would put Thanaton that high. Remember, Thanaton is able to stand against us while we have Force Ghosts for a while. That's pretty damned impressive. Oh yeah, no, Khalia is totally a user. When I say that your relationship with her is toxic, I frickin' mean it. I'm not sure about Ravage, although we don't see much of him in vanilla, so that's part of the problem. Yeah, this music's boring me. Mega Man! We are a Chiss, Sadakam. Popularized by Grand Admiral Muthra Naruto, but let's be honest, the Chiss are cool regardless of him. In fact, I might even say that Thrawn is No, I hate it when people use the phrase overrated. I really do. I've talked about this before. In my experience, most people don't even mean overrated when they say that. They mean, I don't like this as much as other people do. I would complain about Thrawn, but the thing is, the actual Thrawn books really started fleshing him out as a character. Hear me out for a second. Just in the Thrawn trilogy, Thrawn's an interesting character, but that's it. It was the later books that Zahn went back to years later when he was a substantially better writer that turned Thrawn into a much more interesting and much more fleshed out and just generally better character, my opinion. I honestly think he got a lot of people's attention by virtue of being an Imperial officer who wasn't junk. Back in the original, back in the Thrawn trilogy. Because it was introducing the concept that Imperials could be something other than, stupid evil. Which was kind of a new idea at the time.
Follow my lead. Hey, Flunky, where's your Jal?
I'll let him know you're here.
Khalio Janus, as I live and breathe. I didn't expect to find you at my shop.
No one else has got what you've got.
So very true. Tell me, have you brought my money so I can quit paying my thugs to harass you?
The way I heard it, you were stalking her for her charms, not her credits.
That's not exactly how I put it.
She is lovely and dexterous, but I'm better off without her, as might you be. Khalia decided, after nearly a year of supplying me with product, to play a little shell game. I lost a considerable sum and nearly went to prison.
I told you to put trackers on those cannons.
I'm a businessman and I like her, so I'll call off my dogs if she recoups my losses. Otherwise, I can't leave her so pretty.
What'll it take for me to end this?
You serious?
I'll put together an invoice. There, pay the bill and I'll never bother your friend again.
I've got the money. Here.
You're sure you want to spend it on her? I could sell you a custom disruptor rifle for 2/3 the price.
I think she made her choice.
Of course. A pleasure doing business, and a pleasure seeing you again, Khalia. You ever get back to Talifan, call me.
I can't believe you spent all that.
There are always more credits in the galaxy.
Yeah, I guess. We could talk about it later. For now, we've got 2 more targets to go.
I mean, by this point, she has demonstrably lied to us and manipulated us into
all right,
cleaning house. Let me explain this correctly. She has left a trail of abuse and betrayal behind her, literally stretching across the galaxy. And she is now manipulating and abusing us in order to clean it up for her. So to be blunt, if this was a single-player RPG where I had the option to either kick her out of my party or kill her, yes, this is pretty much the quest where I would have gone ahead and pulled that trigger. Like, I'm willing to put up with some things, but by this point I would have just been like, alright, look. So Savacom asks a beautiful question. As much as people have fleshed out his world, George Lucas's original vision was very black and white. On purpose, he's admitted this. Do you think Lucas wrote any evil that wasn't stupid evil?
Vehicle pads are currently open for business.
You and me? We're getting good.
See you around, J. Palmer. Have a good one. Lucas isn't a good writer. And I've said that twice in the last few days, and each time I need to be very clear that it's not actually an insult. It is a statement of fact. I intend no ire, and I actually have respect for him for acknowledging that.
Rise and shine.
He did write Jabba, yeah.
So this card player just need to get his people off my back.
Tell the Hutt I always appreciate a fan, but I don't need anyone to stake me.
Hello, Ta. Look who you found.
Khalia? Khalia, it's fantastic to see you. Who's your friend?
Bodyguard. Don't look at me.
Of course, I understand.
You want to tell me what you were thinking looking for me? Hiring investigators? Bribing dock managers?
I just wanted to find you.
You're messing with my life. A lot of people want me dead, and if you find me, a lot of other people find me too.
I didn't think I wanted you back with me. I want to share the penthouse again, and the money, and... I want you not to leave. Why'd you leave, Khalia?
You're not asking the questions. You listen good, you worm. I'm not going to let you ruin me.
So you'll kill me instead, for not giving up on you?
Walk away. This man isn't worth your time.
Blast it, I know. I was hoping he'd have security or something.
I'm sorry.
Of course you're sorry. It's why I left you, Ta. You're boring. Let's go. Hope the next target's more interesting.
Honestly, I've already kind of made my point, but that one interaction is Khalia in a nutshell, right there. Oh yeah, by the way, someone asked how much of a character Vader was in episode 4. I looked up the exact number. Vader is in episode 4 for 8 minutes and 6 seconds. Oh yeah, no. Vader made a huge impression with those 8 minutes and 6 seconds. No, really, think about it. Think about A New Hope for a second. Think about how little time the camera spends on Vader. I mean, he was originally just supposed to be a thug, and then a robot, and then a Jedi who became evil. And that's it. It's just between Prowse, and I do absolutely give Prowse a lot of credit on that, and the general usage of him in the narrative, the visual design of him, the presentation thereof, and of course, James Earl Jones, who absolutely gets credit as well. Yeah, no, he has that presence. Oh god, Nero's ass. That would be a sea change right there. My goodness. Anyways, my point is I'm not trying to degenerate Vader as a character. I'm just trying to point out, you know, part of the value of presentation, something I talk about all the damn time. Hang on. Before we do this, I need to empty my frickin' inventory.
Looking to upgrade your arsenal?
Oh man, music plays. I thought about selling the eggs to one of these people, but then I realized that that would mean someone else would try to eat them, and it's just, that's not cool. Well, I haven't sold since I started this character, have I?
Good hunting.
God's sakes.
So according to what I got, this is the last place anyone saw our bounty hunter. The Menace. Loser wants a piece of me just because everyone else does. We'll show him what it's like to be hunted.
How do you want to handle this one?
We hang around until someone comes home, or until we get bored. Keep your gun out. Think we got something.
And dramatic pause.
Khalia, you haven't changed.
Do I know you?
You should.
Ona Querrit, the woman you left on Elysia, remember?
No way. You're kidding.
Let me guess. You also have a personal vendetta here.
She's Senator Querrit's daughter. Rich brat. I showed her how to live.
You seduced me into leaving my father, leaving Coruscant.
You got to see new places, hang with the Black Sun. Her dad didn't even cut off her accounts.
He thought I'd been kidnapped. When you disappeared, I cried for a month. I couldn't go home. But on Alderaan, they taught me how to duel, so I became this.
You felt abandoned, so now you've decided to kill your former partner.
I won't kill her if she doesn't fight. I'll drag her back to Coruscant for trial.
I've got to say, Ona, I didn't think you had it in you.
Now you know. Put down your weapons and surrender. I'm taking you, dead or alive.
Yes, please.
I don't know what happened between you, but surely you can resolve this.
Well, what do you say?
I'm impressed, but I'm not apologizing.
Then we fight.
Do I have to? Can I just leave?
Rise and shine.
Can I just let you kill Khalia? Like, seriously, could you just kill Khalia? I'm okay with you killing her. Really. Well, while they two duel it out, thank you very, very much, Edward Bador. Very, very, very much appreciate those bits. Thank you. If you want to put those towards something, please let me know. Deus Ex Human Revolution. You got it. One moment. Oh yeah, by the way, Is it just me or a senator's daughter who was abandoned by her extremely toxic girlfriend and then trained herself to become a bounty hunter sound like a lot more interesting of a companion than Khalia? Because no one's donated towards the Mega Skullmon's Pokemon. I don't put stuff on the list, you guys do. So I can't help but notice that Khalia's health isn't moving and the Menace's is at half, so let's speed this up, shall we? And she's dead. Cool. I am so glad that we murdered this mostly innocent woman.
Let's go down that list again. Roll, check. Ijal, check. Tarteagle, check. The Menace, check. You and me, Agent, we are freaking queens of the galaxy.
You've had some interesting relationships.
Kind of fun seeing everyone again. Still can't believe you bought off that nasty little arms dealer. And without Rawl, the Rim is gonna be fair game for new pirates. Opportunity for everyone.
I notice you aren't mentioning Tarteagle.
What's to mention? He'll be fine. Won't look for me again. Forget those losers. Forget intelligence if you want. You and me have got a future.
You've lied to, abandoned, or tried to kill every person who ever cared for you. You manipulated me into erasing your past. You'll forgive me if I'm not in the mood.
What do you want me to say? Things will be different? The point is, we're having fun now. At least I was.
Who freaking who? You disgusting, terrible person. And then we shoot her. And she's dead. The end. You know one thing I do think that Sith Warrior absolutely has over Agent? Companions. I know. Vector's awesome. But my point is... no, Lord Harriman. The point here is that we actually, whether we are evil or good, we get a crew of surprisingly loyal, dedicated followers who, you know, have their own reasons for joining us and being with us, and all that works out. And then on Agent, we have... I don't even know where to begin. Let's just move on.
This is Watcher 3 to Cypher 9. Sorry to cut your leave short, sir, but we need you. Terrorist mop-up is officially over, and the search for Lord Jadis is on hold. The war just took top priority.
And Ryman, if you're still there, I'm sorry. I swear I said something in my head. Glad you like my show, for what little it can be. I hope whatever's going on in your life actually manages to smooth itself out soon. And without many issues.
I was starting to wonder if I'd been permanently reassigned.
No, sir. Just an emergency measure. You're being recalled to headquarters. Keeper will brief you on your next mission. Watcher 3 out.
Okay. That sounds awesome. Wrong way. Damn it, I always do that. We have just started Chapter 2 of Mega Skullmon's Pokemon. Literally just started 5 seconds ago. I feel like getting something nice, because I have a headache today. What do you think, burgers or burrito? Yes I did, Vigilant. Remind me what that acronym means. OWB. Meat pie is not an option. Actually, burrito burgers are really good, which makes me sad that they don't offer them here. Oh, that's Old World Blues. God damn it. So, thank you for being a part of the show, Vigilant. I have got that down for HOI4, Old World Blues. And thank you very much for the sub, Equalitus. If you know what you want to put that towards, do please let me know. Thank you. So it's actually really simple. Imagine all of the ingredients of a burger, like the meat, the tomatoes, the lettuce, and all that, and it's wrapped up in a tortilla instead. And well, I don't know what that number means, Equalitus, but I'll put that towards near replicant. I'm seeing a lot of people saying Boiger. I do like Boigas. Burger King actually offered burger wraps for a while. They were really good. Well, my favorite type of burger is one that I make, because I make really good burgers. But I like lots of veggies, lots of spice.
All right, make
lots
me
of
look
meat.
good.
Pretzel bread is nice too, if it's available. Would I rather be saved by Captain Archer or Mirror Universe Kirk? Captain Archer? That's a really obvious answer for me. I wish I had a grill. I'm pretty sure I could make even better burgers if I had a grill. But I make them in the oven. I do a damn good job of them. The best burgers other than mine, there is this one Fuddruckers, and it's only this one Fuddruckers.
Rise and shine.
And that one place has really, really good boigas. Like, I wish I could eat there, like, once a week. Unfortunately, it's about 600 miles that way.
Cypher 9, come in. I was just finishing the personnel security updates.
Something looks different. Don't tell me you made it more stark.
Something of the sort. After Darth Jadis's defeat and escape, there was a great deal of chaos. The Dark Council decided to make changes. My predecessor was elevated to Minister of Intelligence. That makes me the new Keeper of Operations Division.
That's quite a promotion. Shall we celebrate?
I owe this to you. But with the promotion comes certain responsibilities. I'm mounting an operation against the Republic's Strategic Information Service. Our concern is this man, Arden Koth, SIS for nearly a decade, responsible for 16 covert projects in the Mid-Rim. The best spy master our enemies have.
Pause. If you're wondering why she mentioned that, that weird line about things being weird, yeah, that's where the romance dies. She flat out says, we're no longer dating because I am now your boss. They do and they have, Savicom. Go figure, they really like it.
I assume we've tried to assassinate him already.
Yes, but no one's come close. Arden Koth's division recently received a classified sanction from the Republic Senate. Complete autonomy. No restrictions on their activities.
Yep.
The Republic believes Arden Koth can win the war. We need to know what he has planned.
Did you catch that, by the way? They just gave him a blank check with absolutely no oversight. Yeah.
For the Republic to give so much power to one man surprises me.
In public, they keep to their principles. In private, they're getting desperate. Imperial intelligence has leaked documents to the SIS suggesting that one of our trustworthy agents is traumatized. At the same time, we sent anonymous messages to Arden Koth's team from an inside source. They now believe a cipher is ready to turn. I want you to make contact with the SIS and offer to be their spy inside the Empire.
I've been a pirate and a terrorist. I can be a traitor too.
Your objective is to earn their confidence, uncover their plan, and eliminate Arden Koth himself. This is a long-term, deep-cover mission. I should warn you. This sort of work can be psychologically taxing.
Yeah.
You will be isolated. Even most intelligence personnel won't know the truth.
Khalia and Vector, are you asking me to abandon my squad?
Your people don't have intelligence backgrounds, so the SIS won't suspect them, and you'll need their support. We've set up a meet with one of Arden Koth's men. You leave for Nar Shaddaa within the hour. Bury your loyalties for this one, Cypher. You'll know when the time comes to strike. Dismissed.
So, there's our Act 2 in a nutshell. We are now a double agent. Sweet. Of course they call me Lore. Who doesn't? What's funny is I actually bought their father my brother-in-law, a new grill, a really nice grill this year as a combined birthday Christmas present. So I could just repurpose it sometime when I go over one of these weeks. Just be like, yeah, I'm gonna use your grill for a bit. Okay. Well, he really likes cooking in general, and he was spending... So, his old grill was really old, and had all the problems that kind of come along with that. And he was spending hours and hours and hours trying to get the thing back into, workable status, and just not succeeding at it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to buy you a new one. Let's just do it.
Nar Shaddaa again. Casinos, death sticks, and head games with Watcher X. Think selling out to the Republic will be more fun?
We get to lie to a whole new group of people.
You know it. Don't forget to squeeze them for all they're worth.
You are the conscience of our team, as always, Khalia. For what it's worth, Cypher. We have our own doubts about this mission, but whatever happens, our loyalty is to you.
I'm glad to know who I can trust.
Meeting with the SIS guy goes down on the promenade. You bring the charm, I'll bring the detonite.
And then we kill Khalia. Okay, cool. Whew. Alright, now we leave the ship. There. Burgers ordered. Whenever they show up is when I'll break for lunch.
Rise and shine.
I mean, if you think about it, this is the logical next step for the agent story arc. Oh, by the way, did you like that our main villain for the entirety of Act 1 is actually just a Sith? It's a local place, Justin. I tend to prefer local places over chains whenever I can get them. I obviously can't always, but yeah. So we've fought ourselves. Now it's time to actually fight the Republic. So time to become a double agent. Cool. I'm just gonna give this away right now because this is an actual RPG. We can become a triple agent or a quadruple agent depending on how we play this. So. We'll see how this goes. I know, right, Arcana? It does, and honestly, I kind of forgot about that, Rathon. I don't know why. I just kind of spaced it. I was thinking that Sith Warrior would win on gameplay because it's more fun to actually play the class, but Agent might win on gameplay because there's more choices in the frickin' game. Oh yeah, sorry. I don't have a Nar Shaddaa playlist up.
All right, make me look good.
Nobody can make you look good, Khalia. Not even me. Hello, fellow gamblers. I would like to betray the Empire.
A woman like you deserves to see the city from above, don't you think?
So let's get this out of the way.
My husband owns his own starship.
But he doesn't fly like me. Come by later.
Yes, that's Quentin Flynn.
Oh, she didn't finish her drink. Can I interest you in what's left of a Cassandra sunrise?
Buy us a bottle and we can start fresh.
I like you. Too bad, really. Codename Hunter, Strategic Information Service. I hear you want to switch sides. No sob stories, no questions. You do us a favor, and then you meet your new employers.
Let's hear some more.
A new droid factory opened up recently, thanks to the Empire's latest partnership with Nemro the Hutt. Supposed to manufacture hunters, crawlers, Jedi killers. All the best. You're going to do something about it.
It's been a while, but I could ask Nemro nicely to shut it down.
Tempting. But I have something else in mind. Security's tight but automated. You can use cipher clearance to get inside, then step 1 is reconnaissance. I'll tell you the next step when I know what you're up against. Deal?
I'll go in and wait for your signal.
Excellent. I look forward to working with you.
Alright, where's this stupid factory? There it is. I guess I should get an Archidot playlist going. We're still here. I never really settled on a good playlist for an Archidot. That's part of the problem.
We're getting good.
Like, I don't really have this kind of playlist because it's usually not a thing. Let's go with this. For the record, I can't stand Hunter, but I'm trying not to give away too much early because obviously I know a lot of people are experiencing the storyline for the first time. Rest assured, we will have plenty to talk about with regards to his character.
Vehicle pads are currently open for business.
I'll take Vector over Hunter, Giga Pudding. Personally. Hunter's a better written character, though. Listen, Giga. I'm just saying, you could have both of them. See, what we need to do with Vector is rip the bug out of him. Then he'll be fine. Why is it... Okay. Have I mentioned that I hate this map some days? Where this leads me. Oh god, it would have been terrible, Arcana. It would have been so... We would be so much further behind than we currently are. We've been making good pace. But... Ugh. Okay, so where am I actually going? Map. I just flew here for no reason.
Available travel route.
It's this goddamn game sometimes.
You and me? We're getting good.
Like, you saw that, right? It's like, your quest is here. I'm like, okay. Alright, now get on the next flight path. Why? So you can fly to where your quest actually is.
So,
You made it inside. Proceed with the recon.
All right, make me look good.
Mind me.
All right, make me look good.
Building kurtosis-plated droids. Lightsaber resistant. Keep looking around.
Sure thing, Kael'thas.
All right, make me look good.
Listen, if we can't have more slog in our cuts or our sections, Dr. Winter, then I don't know what you want from me. Maybe we should add more mobs, like double, maybe even triple the amount of mobs here. And then put them really tightly together and then make it so they detect stealthing so you can't sneak through.
You and me?
That's enough. Headquarters can analyze the recon data. But you had another task. I want the blueprints to those droids. Get to the main computer and hook us in. I'll have my slicer contact you.
Cypher, this is codename Chance. I've got the droid schematics. Now Hunter wants me to dig deeper, but it means triggering an alarm. Droids will be all over your location. Move them off as long as you can. I'll alert you as soon as I'm done.
You caught that, right? Hunter insisted on tripping the alarm to get some more info because, I mean, screw us, right? Dragon Quest Builder 2. Got it.
You're doing great. I'm gonna wipe the databanks. It'll just be a few seconds more.
If you're receiving this, I assume you're still alive. We have our intel, and the databanks have been wiped. Now I want the whole factory taken down. You're going to overload the electrical systems from the emergency panels. Sending locations now.
It is, in fact, on Steam, Yada, yes. What's the huge separation between JRPGs and WRPGs? Theme, approach, usually different approaches to leveling, alternate leveling, different approaches to how it handles choices, or lack thereof.
Survive this mission and we might use you again.
Yep, if we survive, they might use this, might use us again. Hunter's just such a lovely person.
Codename Wheel speaking. At Hunter's request, I am monitoring the power buildup in the factory. You are on target for a controlled electrical storm. Proceed with caution.
Thanks. Also, if you're paying attention, we're meeting the team as we go through this.
Codename Wheel speaking. Electrical buildup has reached critical levels.
Cypher, factory doors are sealing.
Relax. There's a speeder pad close by. Move fast enough, and you might even make it.
Thanks, Hunter. Nice guy.
Not bad at all. I'm sending you new coordinates. Once you've landed, we'll meet you there.
You should know we were able to evacuate the area. No casualties. Perfect score.
Cool. So you notice how immediately Hunter is a dick to us? And yet the other team members we're already talking to are, at the very least, professional. If not straight up, you know, actually helpful or polite. I'm just pointing that out because that's going to be a running trend. Listen, droids aren't people. We all know this. Pancakes asked a fun question. Is promotions in Imperial Intelligence not really a promotion, but more like, here's a higher position. You're going to get watched more. Actually, not only is that true, but most Imperial agents who get to the point of being a watcher, let alone a keeper, don't actually get allowed to retire. They get killed. I believe this will come up later.
Our lovely Imperial heroine, you just destroyed your own government's billion-credit initiative. How does treason make you feel?
I do what's necessary, but that doesn't mean I enjoy it.
Never mind him. He likes to give new agents a hard time.
Let me introduce you to your team. This is codename Saber.
4 years sniper training. We should swap stories.
Codename Chance. Who you talk to?
Slicing and mission control. Joining us was the right decision, sir.
And codename Wheel, our technology specialist.
Charmed.
You don't know how proud I am to work with you. All of you.
Feelings mutual. I can't imagine the strength it took to come over.
We could all stand to reflect on that.
Sir.
Arden Koth, head of division. See me in my office when you're done. The rest of you, finish up and get to work. There's a war going on.
And like a ghost, he passes through. Probably should do what he says.
Okay. I'll go talk to the boss.
All right, make me look good.
Come in. Can we have some privacy?
Khalia, right? Let me show you around.
Do it right, maybe I'll show you something. Be careful, Agent.
4 months ago, I started getting messages from a source in the Empire. Claims to be a Cypher agent. Now a factory's in ruins, and here we are. I'm starting to think you might be real.
You don't trust me. I wouldn't either.
I got a copy of your personnel file. Says you were traumatized when you learned Darth Jadis' dirty secret. A Dark Council member running a terrorist network. Murdering civilians. That what made you want to flip?
The Sith should represent strength. It's why they deserve to lead. But Darth Jadis embodied corruption. If a man like that can rise to the Dark Council, what does that mean?
It means strength alone doesn't make a great leader.
That's an interesting answer to that question.
Saber? Tell the deck another card is in play. Codename Leggett.
Acknowledged. Tell her congratulations.
I'm prepping operations on the planet Terrace. Couple other places. Join up with your forces there. I'll give you your first job. You're on my team now, Leggett. A double agent inside the Empire. Someone to help me win this war.
How exactly do you pick these code names?
You don't know Centron Sabak? We should play sometime. One more thing before you go. And I'm sorry to say this. Keyword, onomatophobia. Fesh Protocol, Phase 1.
Fesh Protocol engaged. Shutting down.
Don't know if you can hear me anymore.
Mind control. Brain damage. Inevitable.
This is everything we have.
Discuss this with no one. Half an hour. Wake up.
I'm awake. Awaiting orders.
Let's walk through some exercises. Sit down. Now jump, please. Aim your rifle.
That's not my rifle.
Revert to Phase 0. You can talk now.
I came to you in good faith. This is how you reward me.
It's unfair. I won't argue. There's a switch in your head. I just flipped it. You won't be able to tell anyone about us or your programming. You also won't be able to hurt members of my team. It's all a precaution, in case your real loyalty is still to the Empire.
I came here to help, but you're a sick man, and you'll pay for this.
I hope you're right. We should all be held accountable. You're still part of the team, Leggett. I still need you on Terrace. We'll beat the Empire together. With the lives we've saved, maybe we'll both find redemption. Dismissed.
So, we have been mentally programmed. Yeah. There's some layers there. That's all I'm going to say about that. There's definitely some layers there. Yeah, nobody answer anything. But that's a hell of a reveal, isn't it? Because, as I mentioned earlier, the beginning of Act 2 is pretty strong and pretty decent in its own right? We're now a counter-agent. You don't need anything other than that. You don't need to have that extra layer. But the agent storyline decided, rather than simply doing another, fairly standard story, they wanted to go ahead and twist things just a little bit. I can do it here, right? Congratulations, Orcano. He truly is the greatest.
Beginning encrypted message. This is Keeper. We have 1 minute until Republic intercept. Report, Cypher 9. Did you make contact with the SIS?
The situation is under control.
Understood.
I'm sorry, I need to redo that in case you missed that, okay? So I'm going to pick the option that says, I am being brainwashed, okay?
Beginning encrypted report, Cypher.
The situation is under control.
Understood. Do not break cover until you are certain of Arden Code's intentions. You're our only chance of learning his plans. Keep her out.
She doesn't know he has control. You'll never be able to tell her. Watch. Wait for your opportunity. It will come.
That's the voice of Watcher X, if you don't remember it. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that's actually a pretty good pause point. And my food's almost here anyways, so when we come back, we will have to start dealing with working as a brainwashed double agent. Cute.